Live on a Sunday afternoon, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the last of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's the ninth straight road game for the Grizzlies. Luckily, they will be home this upcoming weekend against the Kansas City Mavericks in a three-game set. Utah is looking to salvage the third and final game of this series. Utah has a standing point in 5 of their last 9 games, but they've lost each of the first 2 games over in Tahoe. On Friday night, Tahoe got a 6-3 victory. Utah got second period goals from Danny Genev and John Gillette and a third period goal from Reed Webster. Utah went 1 for 3 on the power play and 1 for 1 on the penalty kill, and Utah outshot Tahoe 34-23. Last night, the Grizzlies got a second late first period goal from Colby Enns and a third period goal from Reed Webster. And even though Utah outshot Tahoe 53-25, it was the Night Monsters that come away with a 6-2 victory. Last night, the Grizzlies didn't commit a single penalty. They were 0 for 2 on the power play, but they didn't have a single penalty kill last night. Danny Genev had 11 shots on goal for Utah. Tyler Gratton and Reed Webster each had 6 shots, and Noah Gansky had 1 assist and was a +1. Tahoe was led by Nate Callan, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Jordan Paperny, the goaltender, saved 51 of 53. We got a different goaltending matchup this afternoon as Dominic Bassey is going to get the start for the Grizzlies. It'll be his second appearance in a Utah uniform. He'll be going up against Jacob Musatelli, who's making his Tahoe debut. He just recently signed with the Tahoe club. Well, I mentioned it's the last of 9 straight road games for the Grizzlies. Utah will go, 34, maybe 36 days between home games. Grizzlies' last home game was on December 13th. Math can be hard sometimes. I think it's 34 days between home games. Utah will be at home this upcoming Friday to start a 3-game series against the Kansas City Mavericks. It will be an AFCU Friday with discounted tickets with your AFCU debit or credit card. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams and go over a couple interesting trends as the Grizzlies have shot early and often over the last 6 games. We're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 10 minutes from now over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. We're hanging out in the Professional Green Studios just outside the Grizzlies team store. You ever seen the movie Hoosiers where they come out for the opening game and there's like 5 or 6 Indiana players, Indiana Hickory players, and the other team comes out and they've got like 15 players. Well, that might be what the Grizzlies have today, as they will have either 14 or 15 skaters, depending on if Neil Shea can play. And unfortunately, it seems like this is at least the third Sunday where you've had a scenario like this. Luckily, the Grizzlies have played well in these type of situations, but it's just odd to see week after week the Grizzlies, especially on the road, have to play as shorthanded as they have. And so hopefully Neil Shea is able to go. Unfortunately, during warmups, they never showed Utah's side of the ice, so I couldn't tell you if he was out there for warmups or how he looked. So Utah is going with either 14 or 15 skaters tonight. Tahoe is going to have a full collection of 18 skaters to go along with 2 goalies. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. We don't have the starters, unfortunately, but we do know that the Grizzlies will have either 14 or 15 on the ice. We did mention in the first segment, Dominic Bassey is going to get the start in net. He's a 6'6", 197-pound goaltender. In his opener with the Grizzlies on January 2nd, he saved 31 of 38, and that was a crazy game where Utah lost 7-6 in overtime to the Wichita Thunder. Dylan Wells, who got the start in each of the first 2 games in this series, is the backup. The top forward line on John Buchanan's lineup sheet is going to be Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain. He's going to be on the left wing. Evan Friesen is going to be the first-line center. Friesen has a point in 7 of his last 10 games. And Reed Lebster has a goal in each of the first 2 games in this series. Lebster has 6 goals in his last 9 games. Right now, Reed Lebster is tied for second in the league with 17 goals on the year. And one of the guys he's tied with is Tahoe's Devin Poliani, who's going to be on the top line for Tahoe this evening. So Gratton, Friesen, and Lebster from left to right are going to be Utah's first line. Not sure if they're going to get the start. Second forward line from left to right is going to include Sean Kennedy, who just signed a couple days ago. Kennedy's actually been impressive in 2 games. He has 3 shots through 2 games with Utah. He'll be wearing number 17. Riley Connors has had plenty of good looks in the first 2 games of this series. Connors has 5 points in his last 6 games. And overall, in 11 games with Utah, he has 4 goals and 2 assists. And Maxim Barbashev, who will give you a great effort every night. He's got 6 points in his last 8 games. Barbashev will be wearing number 92. Third forward line from left to right includes the all-star representative, Danny Geniev, who had 11 shots on goal last night. Geniev leads the league with 131 shots on goal. He's a first-year pro out of Penn State. He'll be on the left wing on a line with Jack Ricketts, the first-year pro. Ricketts played with a couple different colleges. Last year, he was at Quinnipiac University. Ricketts, a star at the college level, and so far this season with Utah in 26 games has 8 goals and 9 assists. He had 20 goals last season with Quinnipiac. Before that, he was a teammate of John Gillette at Holy Cross, and Gillette's going to be on the right wing of that line. So Ricketts, Gillette, and Geniev are going to be a forward line, and we're not sure if Neil Shea is able to play. If he is, the Grizzlies will go with 10 forwards, and if Shea is unable to go, the Grizzlies will go with 9 forwards. 5 defensemen on John Buchanan's crew, as Luke Salem's going to be on a pairing with Noah Gansky. Remember, the Grizzlies do have an odd number of defensemen, so the pairings will get mixed and matched quite a bit tonight. Salem's going to be with Noah Gansky. Aiden Hans-Bucata, who's tied with Danny Geniev for the club lead with 16 assists. On some shifts, he'll be with Colby Enns, who leads Utah with a +5 rating. And Robbie Stucker will be in there wearing number 4. Stucker may be roving around. Sometimes last night, at certain points last night, he was playing with Hans-Bucata. He's going to be bouncing around quite a bit. Stucker was acquired by the Grizzlies about a month ago from the Reading Royals, and he's really been a strong addition to the club as he has 7 points, 1 goal, and 6 assists in his last 9 games. So Robbie Stucker has been with the Grizzlies for about a month now. He's done some great things for the Grizzlies. Scratches this evening. Defenseman Avery Winslow's out once again. He's been out since early December. Christian Felton's missing his 3rd straight game. Forwards are scratches. Stepan Timofeyev along with Rylan Kovacevic. Luke Manning's out for the 7th straight game, and Christoph Filion is missing his 3rd straight game. If you didn't join us yesterday, Sage Weinstein was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. And so Weinstein is now with Colorado. And if you didn't catch the Colorado Eagles game yesterday, Kyle Kaiser, who has spent plenty of time with the Grizzlies this season, Kaiser picked up a shutout with the Eagles. So 2 former Grizzlies getting shutouts within the organization. Trent Miner had an NHL shutout with the Avalanche yesterday as he stopped all 29 Columbus shots. And Kyle Kaiser last night picked up a shutout with the Colorado Eagles, and that's his 2nd shutout in an Eagles uniform this season. The Tahoe Night Monsters are now taking the ice. They're in a black jersey with teal in the middle of the jersey, white numbers, white lettering in the back, and White numbers on the sleeves, just high of the elbows as they take the ice. The Grizzlies are wearing a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. So we've gone over the Grizzlies lineup. Unfortunately, we don't have the starters for Tahoe. A couple guys to watch out for. Obviously last night's hero was Nate Callan, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Callan has a plus 17 rating this season. So watch out for Nate Callan. He's been a threat for the Night Monsters all year long. We mentioned Devin Poliani, who has 17 goals to tie with Reed Webster for second place in the league. Casey Bailey, the reigning league player of the week, has 15 goals and 20 assists. He's got 13 games of NHL experience, 6 with Toronto and 7 with Ottawa. Also watch out for Trent Zwick. He's got a point in 8 straight games and a goal in 7 of his last 8. So there's some of the guys to watch out for on the Tahoe side, as they've been a pretty strong unit. Brennan Katchek's one of their better defensemen. He has a plus 5 rating. He's been around in this league for a handful of years. Also watch out for Luke Adam. He's made a strong impact in this series. Adam is in his 16th season as a pro, so he's been around a long time. Anthony Collins is a 13th year pro, and Casey Bailey's been around for quite some time as well. One former Grizzly on the Tahoe roster, Blake Wells, wearing number 12, will be in the Tahoe lineup. And on the bench will be former Grizzly equipment manager Jackson Hibbard, who's currently the head equipment manager with the Tahoe Night Monsters. When we come back, we'll have face-off on the other side. You've been tuned in to the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
It's a great day for hockey as 2 big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies looking to salvage the 3rd and final game of the series. It's the 9th straight road game for Utah as they go 34 days between home games. They last had a home game on December 13th. That was Teddy Bear Toss night, and it seems like it was 15 years ago. Ceremonial puck drop. Grizzlies captain Tyler Gratton shakes hands with Luke Adam, the Tahoe captain. Grizzlies will start out with a forward line of Riley Connors with Sean Kennedy and Maxime Barbashev. Unfortunately, it looks like Neil Shea is unable to go as the Grizzlies are going with 14 skaters tonight. The starting defensive pairing is Robbie Stucker and Noah Gansky. And Dominic Bassey is going to get the start in net. This will be a second appearance in a Grizzlies uniform. Jacob Mercatelli is going to get the start for Tahoe. The starting forwards for the Night Monsters will include Luke Adam with Casey Bailey and Jake McGrew. As Bailey will take the draw against Riley Connors, we're underway. As Tahoe wins the faceoff, the Night Monsters are skating from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports as they dump it in. Does Casey Bailey trying to accept the puck at neutral ice? As now the puck's towards the near corner. Stucker in the area along with Gansky. Riley Connors holding his ground and Kennedy looking nearby. Kennedy played with the Birmingham Bulls where he was a teammate with the Tahoe goaltender Jacob Mercatelli. Mercatelli, a recent signee, making his Tahoe debut. He played previously with the Birmingham Bulls in the SPHL. Night Monsters lose control of the puck as Riley Connors gets the head off the stick of Kennedy. Kennedy chases after as the Grizzlies have exactly 3 forward lines and 14 skaters, and Tahoe has 4 full forward lines and 3 full defensive units. As Kapchek steps over the offense line, he gets an offensive screen and getting hit up high. Tripping is going to be the call, though, as the Grizzly goes down. And hopefully Danny Genev gets back to his feet, as the Grizzlies are about as shorthanded as it gets already. So going to the penalty box is Trent Swick. Swick's got a point in 8 straight games. He's sporting a mustache with a little bit of a soul patch underneath his mouth. And he'll go to the box 51 seconds in. Grizzlies haven't had many power plays, and Utah did have one abbreviated penalty kill in this series. The referee, Emil Sharon, he's let them play for the most part. Sharon's the referee today. Austin Bove and Will Anderson are the linesmen. Jack Ricketts will take the draw. Danny Genev's out there. Genev has taken the spot of Neil Shea on this particular power play unit. Utah wins a draw. Now to the right wing. Grattan fires towards the net, and it goes wide. Lebster in the left circles. We played a minute. Utah's on a power play. Hanson Mukata. High slot gets it towards Lebster. Lebster back towards Ricketts over to Hanson Mukata. High slot. Lefty shot goes wide, and it deflects out of play off the protective netting. 18:52 is left in the first period. And 1:43 left in Utah's power plays. We're just getting underway, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Sunday with us. Utah on the power play this season is 19.5%. Tahoe's penalty kill is 82.5%. As you mentioned, in each of the first 2 games of the series, they have 7 shorthanded goals this season. Hanson Mukata will slide it back to neutral as he tried to get towards Genev on an interesting angle. Tahoe takes it away from Genev, left wing, and spinning around, looking for a penalty is Poliani. Good job by Hanson Mukata in making sure that he didn't have any time and space to get the spin move off. Grizzlies over the offensive blue as Jack Ricketts will skate towards the right corner. He gets behind the net for Lebster. Over to Hanson Mukata in the left circle, back up top to Genev. He moves to his right for Ricketts. Ricketts dances around, and Ricketts keeps control of the puck, bounces one towards the middle for Hanson Mukata. Bouncing puck to the left point for Lebster. Lebster cross-ice feed to the right corners off a Tahoe stick. Genev over near the corner as he battles with Samuel Mayer, the big 6'3" defenseman. Tahoe gets in, they'll clear it all the way towards Dominic Bassey, who's in his second appearance as a Grizzly. There's about 50 seconds left in the power play. Grizzlies switch up and get a fresh 5-man unit on the ice. Stucker left wings out towards Friesen, who taps it to Barbashev. Barbashev gets it across towards the right corner. Behind the net is Kalen Taylor. He loses control, but another Night Monster will slice it all the way towards Bassey. Dominic Bassey plays behind his net. Stucker collects the puck. He'll skate north-south. Now he'll push it to his right. Grizzlies lunge a puck angle left towards Barbashev. Barbashev was looking for a cutter out in front. Nobody was home as he took the shot on a little bit of an interesting angle. Connors, right point. He'll fire a righty shot that goes wide as Barbashev tried to extend his stick to get the puck as it goes towards the left wing boards. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. Barbashev will throw it back into the Grizzlies zone. 5 seconds left in the power play. As Connors gets out towards center ice, veers to his right, gets around Bailey. Now Connors steps over to the right side. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide on a tough angle. As coming out of the box is Tahoe. It's Trent Zwick. Now we get a whistle. Now it looks like the puck was either played with a high stick or it's a high sticking penalty. As we played exactly 3 minutes, Grizzlies have 1 shot. Tahoe's yet to fire away on Jacob Musatelli. Over the last 6 games, the Grizzlies are averaging 42 shots per game. They had 53 shots last night, and they have 252 shots in their last 6 games. John Kennedy will take the draw against Casey Bailey as the Grizzlies played the puck with a high stick. We're skating 5-on-5 as neutral zone draw was won by Tahoe. They dump it in as Luke Salem backhands it ahead, but didn't go very far as it bounced off a Night Monster. Now Kennedy left wings it out towards Grattan. Grattan over the offense line, left point, lefty shot. Glove saved by Musatelli as he gloved it with a backhand. In the butterfly position, he holds on with 16:44 left in the first. So we're just the start of things. Not many power plays for the Grizzlies. They are now 1 for 5 on the power play in this series. Utah's looking to salvage the 3rd game. They lost 6-3 on Friday night, where they got goals from Genev, Gillette, and Lebster. Last night, Grizzlies got goals from Colby Enns and Reed Lebster in a 6-2 loss. As Utah wins the draw, Lepster in the left point, gets it across. Hanson Buchanan, one-timer goes wide. Now Gratton fired towards the net, and that bounced off a Night Monster in the slot. Adam with a rink-wide feed that's picked off by Hanson Buchanan. He gets it towards Gratton, back to Hanson Buchanan. Over to Colby Enns, who leads Utah with a +5 rating. He'll get it ahead as the Grizzlies step over the offense line. Lepster stops on a dime, gets up top, Enns fires towards the net, saved by Musatelli. Rebound goes towards Tahoe. They'll move it out towards center ice. Lepster, Enns took it away from a Night Monster, and that was Luke Adam, the 16th-year pro, 35 years old, who spent 90 games in the National Hockey League, 87 with Buffalo, and 3 with Columbus. Lepster centered it. Nobody home for Utah as the Night Monsters will race out towards center ice. Tahoe will bounce one in. Bassey cuts it off at the near goal line. Stucker slices one towards the far wing boards towards Genev. Tahoe cuts him off. Poliani left circle. Righty shot saved. Rebound goes back towards Poliani. He'll get it up top towards Nate Cowan. Poliani is down on the ice, and he is looking over with his stick. Grizzlies clear it out. No penalty, but Poliani is slow to get up. As Night Monsters play it behind their net, Samuel Mayer, 4.5 minutes in. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 3-0. As we're still scoreless, Night Monsters dumping in. Poliani was able to get back to his feet and retrieve his stick as Adam Pitters hits Salem from behind Utah's net. As Genev chases after the puck, steps over the offense line, gets towards Ricketts, who skates towards the right corner. Now he pivots, stops, reverses his field back towards the right corner. Now he dances around, drops it for Genev in the right corner. Genev tries to jump his way around Brendan Kapchek as the puck goes back towards the far point, and it slides into the Grizzly zone. Colby Enns hustles and gets the idle puck as Enns gets pushed in the back. Now behind Bassey's net. Grizzlies get it towards Enns. Colby Enns slides one towards the near wing boards towards Kennedy, and Kennedy will loft it out to center ice. As Tahoe will flip it back in. Puck up in the ops towards Bassey, who lets it go towards the end boards. Enns gets the puck. He's paired up with Salem on this shift as the Grizzlies are going with 5 defensemen and 9 forwards. So it's going to be a lot of mixing and matching on the defensive units. Turnover. Collins down the middle of the ice. Righty shot goes wide. Now the Night Monsters get it back towards the left wing. Tahoe will fire a lefty shot from the left wing. Bassey makes a save, and he holds on with 14:22 left in the first. So first shot of the game taken by Lyndon Algier, who has 4 assists and a +7 rating in 20 games. Well, we're looking forward to seeing some live hockey this upcoming weekend at Maverick Center. 5 days from now, the Grizzlies will host Tadoe Kansas City Mavericks. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Friesen will take the draw against number 12, Blake Wells. Wells, a former Grizzly. He played in 3 games in the end of the 2023-24 season. Tahoe fires one wide after winning the faceoff. Wells played in 1 game last season at the very start of the year, and then he suffered a season-ending injury. He was on the Grizzlies roster throughout last season. Over to Tyler Gratton in the near side. The Grizzlies are still deep in their own zone. Tahoe challenging them just like the Grizzlies have to their opposition earlier in the road trip. Gratton over the offense line, left wing, skates towards the circle, lefty shot, saved by Musatelli. Rebound goes towards the right side. Friesen gets spun around. He takes his seat as he spins on his keister, and Musatelli covers up with 13:52 left in the first. Time out of the ice. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 6-2. Still no score. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Still no score as we're early in the first period. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 6-2 as there's 13:54 left in the first period. Friesen will take the draw against Casey Bailey. Friesen's got 0.7 of his last 10 games. Friesen 7 goals, 7 assists in 32 games. Bailey wins the draw as Callan deep in his own zone gets challenged by Lepster. Now Gratton shadows Brennan Kapchek as Tahoe turns it over. Friesen skates along the right goal line. Shot saved by Musatelli as the Night Monsters will move it out towards center ice. As getting the puck towards the right wing, Tahoe will throw up behind Utah's net. Now the Night Monsters skate horizontally towards the near side, and Adam gets it taken away as Lepster skates around Bassey's net. Moving out towards center ice wide of Gratton. Now Gratton battles a Night Monster, and Tahoe will bounce one back in like a basketball towards Noah Gansky. He gets across to Colby Enns in the near side. Now Tahoe takes it away. Poliani centers it. Lefty shot, and that's blocked by Gansky. Gansky's got an A on his sweater. Tyler Gratton out across center ice, skates down the middle, fakes a slap shot, drops it for Ricketts in the left point. Back towards Gratton, who lets it go as it reverses back to the right corner. Genev throws it up top. John Gillette dances around towards the right corner. He gets hit by Bailey as Ricketts gets held up by a Night Monster. And the puck gets spun back behind Tahoe's net. Now the Night Monsters will get it out towards center ice. Puck slides all the way towards Dominic Bassey. Getting the puck is Luke Salem. No icing on the play as action deep in the Grizzlies zone. Right wing Night Monsters dance around as Gustafson, Jordan's his first name, a 21-year-old, looks to center it to traffic, and he couldn't find Adam Pitters, number 21. Now Pitters loses the control of the puck as the Night Monsters were looking for a centering pass. Ricketts towards Genev. He gets set up high as he grabs his face. No high sticking penalty. As puck goes back to the near circle of the Night Monsters zone. Pitters flips it into his own bench. Not making many friends there, but the puck goes out of play with 12:07 left in the first. Grizzlies have outshot Tahoe 6-2 so far as we played about 8 minutes. Looks like kind of a casual Sunday afternoon crowd over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Game 33 of the regular season for the Grizzlies, and already it's the 22nd road game. Grizzlies overall have a record of 13, 16, and 3. They are 10, 9, and 2 on the road this year. As Connors will take the draw against Mike O'Leary. O'Leary has 7 goals and 11 assists in 29 games this season. Draw one by Utah, but it goes past Colby Enns deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah skating from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports, and your mind's eye see it on YouTube. We'll try to paint a picture the best we can for you on this remote feed as Connor zips it around towards the near side, and the puck is back deeper in the Grizzlies zone as Utah in the white jerseys will tap one off the glass on the far side. The Night Monsters collect the puck as they're in their own zone. Brennan Kapchek, the former Newfoundland Growler, with a rink-wide feed. Bassey raises his left arm, and the referee and 2 linesmen raise their right arm. Icing is on Tahoe with 11:36 left in the first. Reed Lepster's got a goal in both games in this series. Lepster has 6 goals in his last 9 games, and he's tied for second in the league with 17 goals. As Lepster's on the ice right now, he's in the left wing as Friesen looks at Lepster. Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, on the ice as well. Gratton played his college hockey at Penn State and Arizona State. Last year was the leading goal scorer for the Reading Royals with 20. As Tahoe plops it back towards center ice, Jake Derflinger. It's Jake Derflinger lookalike day. They've got a contest later today. Gratton backhand shot from the right side, saved by Musatelli. Now Hansi Mukata gets it across as Gansky fires towards the net, and a score! Grizzlies get on the board as Gansky fired a prayer towards the net. Not sure if it got redirected, but Utah takes a 1-0 lead. Boy, there's about 2 or 3 bodies out in front of the net, and Noah Gansky had the puck over in the right point and just kind of fired into traffic, and the Grizzlies get on the scoreboard. Looks like they're not going to show a replay. They're not even going to give us any indication as to who skated to the bench first on this video feed, as the camera just stares down the center ice logo as Utah, for the first time in this series, gets the first goal. And it's certainly a big one for Utah as the Grizzlies, when scoring first this season, have a record of 9-4-1. They just have 4 victories when the opposition scores first. Now Tyler Gratton talking with the referees. It looks like the Night Monsters are a little bit slow to switch things up, and it looks like the Night Monsters are taking their time. There's only one referee tonight, so you can't say that either one's going to the scores table, but it looks like the Night Monsters are making everybody wait to make their changes to who's going to be on the ice after Utah's goal. So it's 1-0 Utah, And we'll see if the ECHL box score will give us an indication as to who gets credited with the goal. It's Noah Gansky getting his second of the year as he scored cleanly from the right point. Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Reed Lebster pick up the assists. So for Hansen-Bukata, he breaks a tie for the club lead as he now has 17 assists on the year. Both Hansen-Bukata and Genev were tied for second among league rookies with 16 assists. And so Hansen-Bukata with his 17th assist of the year, and Reed Lebster now has 8 assists on the season. So we're waiting quite a bit here. No video replay of any kind. It looks like the Night Monsters are just taking their time, getting their 5 on the ice after Utah's goal. So Noah Gansky gets his second goal of the year. He now has a point in back-to-back games as he had an assist on Saturday. As the Night Monsters cross center ice after winning the faceoff, they dump it in, battle behind Bassey's net. As we played 9 minutes, Utah leads 1-0. Big scrum ahead. And now Salem is getting attacked by a Night Monster and Trent Zwick. And Trent Zwick swings and he throws a couple punches on Salem, and both guys hit the ice. The Night Monsters are smart to know that they've got 18 skaters and the Grizzlies have 14. So it looks like Tahoe, and we've seen it on a couple of occasions where it looks like they're trying to pick a fight with Utah and get as many Grizzlies in the penalty box and whatnot, knowing that the Grizzlies are short of skaters. So Trent Zwick and Luke Salem. Zwick goes 6'6" and 207 pounds, and Salem is listed at 5'10", 181, as they got tangled up behind Utah's net, and they decided to do battle. Zwick gets a swig of water, and Salem is in the Grizzlies penalty box. And so I imagine it's either going to be roughing minors or double minors for roughing, or maybe both get 5 for fighting. Luke Salem had a mustache to start the year, but it looks like the mustache has turned into a beard as both guys are in the penalty box. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 11-2 as we played 9 minutes and 5 seconds of this contest, and Utah leads 1-0 first time this series where they have scored first. So draw's going to be at neutral ice. That's about where the puck was when we can't hear the whistles over in Tahoe or any of the sounds from the arena, but I imagine that's where the puck was when the whistle blew to stop play for Salem and Trent Zwick. So draws at neutral ice, and it's won by Utah's Robbie Stucker. Gets the puck as it flipped in the air, gloves it, and drops it. As Grizzlies are now with 4 defensemen of Salem in the penalty box. Ricketts over the offensive line, tries to drop it for Gillette. As Gillette's now in the right corner, centers it. Lefty shot, and that one bounced off of the goaltender, Musatelli. Shot was taken by Jack Ricketts from the right wing. As Tahoe will slide one out towards center ice. Breakaway. Skating down to McGrew. Backhand shot. Saved by Bassey. Good stop by Bassey, who anticipated McGrew going to the backhand, and he was in the right place at the right time. As Utah still leads 1-0. We're skating 5-on-5, so I imagine both guys just got fighting majors, or at least roughing minors or double minors for roughing, or whatever the case may be. So they're both in the penalty box. The puck is skied and gloved by Bassey with 10:07 left in the first. So penalties, looks like Salem and Zwick each get fighting majors. If I remember right, that might be Luke Salem's first fight of the year, as he had 8 penalty minutes coming into play this evening. So now Salem's got 13 penalty minutes, and Salem picking up his first fight of the season. As Connors will take the draw against Jordan Gustafson. Gustafson spent some time in the AHL this season, as both teams jostle for positioning and jostle for the puck over in the far corner. Now the puck's reversed towards the near corner. It's taken by Utah as the Grizzlies slice one ahead all the way down for an icing as they're looking for Barbashev at neutral ice. 9:52 is left in the first. We kind of talked about that interesting strategy of Tahoe knowing that the Grizzlies are severely shorthanded. Maybe they just try to pick some fights. And now, obviously, now for the next few minutes, Grizzlies are down to 4 defensemen. Do they try to pick a couple other fights, knowing that fatigue may play a factor here towards the end of this game? So the Night Monsters win the draw. Left wing shot, and that one's blocked away by Bassey. About 9:42 left in the first. As Grizzlies come up with the puck, they nudge it out towards center ice. Now crossing centers, Utah. Riley Connors will drive one diagonally towards the left corner. It bounced off a Night Monster, and Brennan Kapchek Kapchek backhands it across. Taylor, the first-year pro, gets to neutralize. Night Monsters look for a left wing pass. Is picked off. Kennedy skates in from the left wing, just outside the circle, fires lefty shot, and it's blocked by Alger, and it flies out of play. 9:20 left in the first period. Grizzlies get a goal from Noah Gansky. It's Utah 1, Tahoe nothing. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
So Grizzlies lead 1-0 as Noah Gansky found the back of the net from the right point. There's 9:20 left in the first period. Evan Friesen will take the draw against Adam Pitters. Friesen, a first-year pro, led the Wenatchee Wild in goals and points last season. Draw won by Tahoe as they blow a tire skating along the near wing boards. Puck goes out towards center ice. As Stucker will bounce one near the Grizzlies bench area. As Grattan moves it across, Grizzlies over the offensive line. Gansky in the right point, fires towards the net, and it goes over the head of Musatelli, the Tahoe goaltender, who played with Birmingham in the SPHL, where he's a teammate with Sean Kennedy's. Out to the left side off a Stucker skate, as Derflinger will spin it out towards the left side, 2-on-3. Tahoe over the offensive line. They'll bounce it off the backboards. Looking for the puck is Connor Merritt, but it glanced off at his stick as Reed Lobster skates towards the Grizzlies bench. Now feed it back to Gansky. It goes past him deep in the Grizzlies zone. Luke Salem's currently in the penalty box, serving as fighting major as he got in a bout with Trent Zwick. As he was giving up about 8 or 9 inches on Zwick. As Utah gets it in the right side. Genev, lefty shot from the right wing, bounces off of Musatelli's chest. Now Tahoe comes back the other way. Night Monsters towards the right wing. Wells gets held up in the near circle. Hanson Mukata will nudge it ahead. Danny Genev crosses center ice right wing. Now he strides over the offense line. Now he's trying to get across George Gillette. Pass goes wide of the mark. Gillette gets it off the boards as Gillette gets bounced by Anthony Collins, a 13th-year pro. As Tahoe races out towards center ice, and Wells will slide it in as it rolls along the far wing boards. Cut off behind the net by Dominic Bassey. As taking the puck is Colby Enns. He'll push it towards Barbashev. Barbashev crosses center ice and dumps it in as Tahoe will make a line change. 7:45 on a moving clock, first period. Utah's outshot Tahoe 11-4. The Grizz have a 1-0 lead as Noah Gansky was able to find the back of the net. 8:43 in with Hanson Mukata and Lepster gained the assists. Tahoe along the near side as Casey Bailey will move it to his left as Taylor crosses center ice and he'll globe it in. Bassey gets on 2 hops to the ice and off the boards. Puck goes to Kapchek, right side shot, kicks off the skate of Bailey as Barbashev takes control of the puck. He'll skate to neutralize. Barbashev crosses center ice, and he'll push it in. Puck got about 5 feet of air under it as the Night Monsters make a change. Grizzlies might be keeping their shifts a bit short here, knowing they're going to be as shorthanded as they are with 14 skaters and obviously 13 now with Salem in the penalty box. Grizzlies get it to the middle of the ice at the Tahoe line. Tahoe will move it ahead as the puck bounced off a stick. Hanson Mukata wanted offside, but the puck stayed in and is rolling around the boards with Craig McCabe, number 86. Grizzlies get control of the puck as Grattan will sky it out towards the right corner of the Tahoe zone. The icing is on Utah as getting back defensively was Lyndon Algier. Got a question about the availability of Luke Manning. He's missed the last handful of games. I tried to ask about what's wrong with Luke Manning, and they simply told me that he was out. That's all they would tell me. So we're not entirely sure how long he'll be out or anything of that nature, but Luke Manning, who's one of Utah's most dependable forwards, he's been out for the last handful of games, and we're not entirely sure what happened to him or when he'll be back, as the Grizzlies are pretty secretive there as to what his availability is. But nevertheless, Grizzlies win the draw. They'll dump it in as the Night Monsters. Samuel Mayer will get the puck. He's got 8 goals in 33 games this season as a defenseman. As Tahoe dumps it in, Noah Gansky strides after it in the far corner as he gets some lumber in the back from Gustafson. Puck goes back towards the left point. Now to Gustafson in the far corner. As Gansky shadows him, Gustafson loses control of the puck. Now he gets it back. Gansky taps it away from him. As Genev crosses center ice left wing, Utah leads 1-0, about 6 minutes left in the first period. Gustafson gets takeaway. Now Genev gets back over to Gillette. One-timer, glove saved by Musatelli, and he holds on with 6:06 left in the first. But a good hard-working shift by Danny Genev battling with Gustafson. Then he got to Gillette. And Gillette just inside the left circle is able to fire a one-timer. It was a bit of a change-up that Musatelli gloved. And so the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Looks like for a Sunday, a pretty good crowd over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's one of the smaller arenas in the league. It holds about 4,300. Riley Connors will take the draw in the left circle against Adam Pitters. Pitters 4 goals and 11 assists this season. He got in a fight with Cade Nilsson last year at Maverick Center, and Nilsson got the better of Pitters on that occasion. As Strug goes towards the boards in the left corner, now taking his Barbashev, a fire lefty shot that goes wide. Now Enns collects it in the right point. So he'll get it back around the boards. Handsome Yukata, as he gets bounced by Derflinger, but it's Derflinger that hits the ice. Puck goes back to center ice as Handsome Yukata will move one across towards Enns. Enns will slice one ahead, a north-south pass in the right wing that goes past Sean Kennedy deep into the Tahoe zone. Night Monsters out to center ice. Hot passes collected by Merritt. He'll move it towards his left. Now they try to get it back towards Merritt in the middle of the ice in a give and go, and goes wide of the mark. Kennedy, I'm really looking forward to seeing him this upcoming weekend at Maverick Center. It looks like he's a pretty fun player to watch. Kennedy took a hit at neutral ice. He'll skate off for a change as Tahoe slows things down with 5:18 left in the first. Night Monsters will ice it as the linesman raised their arm as Tahoe was looking for a skater at neutral ice, and the pass was incomplete. So good start for the Grizzlies. They've been aggressive offensively in every game of this series, and it's kind of interesting to think about how aggressive the Grizzlies have been in terms of shooting the puck on this road trip. As the Grizzlies, they kind of were a defense-first team for the first couple months of the year, and it looks like they're kind of running and gunning a little bit more over the last month. And the Grizzlies, we had mentioned, they're one of the faster teams in the league, and the Grizzlies really recently have done a good job of getting out in open ice and utilizing their speed. Draw one by Tahoe. The Night Monsters are one of the best teams offensively in the league, averaging 3.7 goals per game. Tahoe skied it, and it must have hit off the roof or something as they stopped play with 5:07 left in the first. Draw's going to be at neutral ice. Time out of the ice will take one as well. Utah leads 1-0 on Noah Gansky's second goal of the year. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Grizzlies have a 1-0 lead as they have outshot Tahoe 13-4. Utah's rolling with 14 skaters. Luke Salem's out of the penalty box after serving as fighting major as he got in a fight with Trent Zwick. So Evan Frieson's at neutral ice near dot, near the Tahoe bench. Tyler Gratton's on his left and Reed Lepster to his right. Lepster has been a dependable forward and then some for the Grizzlies. Utah wins the draw. Gansky from neutral ice fires towards the net. Glove saved by Musatelli. He holds on, and so the Grizzlies will get an offensive zone draw with an even 5 minutes left in the first period. Like Grizzlies have a little bit of an extra jump to their step, and we always talk about in these situations, third game in 3 days, that it's important to get off to a fast start as fatigue is obviously going to play a role, even though both goaltenders are fresh, with Musatelli just getting signed by Tahoe recently, and I believe Dominic Bassi playing his first game since January 2nd. Tahoe gets the puck. They skate around Musatelli, who's 6'3", 194 pounds. Puck towards the left point. Grattan fires towards the net. It's blocked. And now the puck goes towards the left corner as Anthony Collins battles with Salem. Now the Night Monsters will race out to neutralize. Now they push it to the middle of the ice. Merritt trying to fire towards the net. It's blocked by Gansky. Puck goes towards the left corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. As Grattan deep in his own zone in the right corner gets hit by Collins. Gansky delivers a push on Wells as Grizzlies race along the right wing. Luke Salem make that Friesen, accelerates around Merritt, dumps it into the right corner. Friesen gets it as he gets there before Mayer. Mayer falls down as no call on the play as Mayer wanted a trip. As Bailey races down Broadway. Now he dumps it into the right corner of the Grizzlies zone, which is the near side. Bailey trying to get it up top, but nobody was hanging out in the near point. As Kalen Taylor enters the ice for Tahoe. Taylor was the Clarkson University captain last season. And Clarkson, one of the better college programs. We see plenty of Clarkson players in all hockey levels of the pros. Bailey fired towards the net, bounced off the Bassi. Puck goes towards the far corner, and it's taken by Jack Ricketts. Ricketts strides along the wing. Now nudge the puck to the middle of the ice, and the Night Monster gets there a stride ahead of where Gillette was trying to play the puck just outside the Tahoe line. Now it goes back into the Grizzlies zone. Stucker and Bailey push each other in the right corner. Stucker's been a strong addition for the Grizzlies over the last month. Geneva over the offensive line, drops it for Gillette, right side. Gillette looked for a lefty shot, and looks like it was saved by Musatelli, and he holds on with 3:22 left in the first. Had a tough time trying to figure out where the puck ended up. Musatelli was able to make the stop. Another good effort and another good shift by the combination of Danny Geneva and John Gillette, as that unit's worked really well together. Riley Connors will take the draw as a first-year pro. He was the captain at Yale University in the 2023-24 season. As he stares down the 21-year-old Jordan Gustafson, who's got a bright future. Utah wins the draw, goes off a Salem stick back to neutralize. Salem drives it back in as Musatelli will nudge it for a defenseman. As McCabe will make that, Craig McCabe in his second game with Tahoe. As the Night Monsters get it in. Bassi lets it go, and it looks like everybody stops skating. Tahoe gets called for icing with 3:06 left in the first. So draw's going to come back towards Jacob Musatelli. Grizzlies have outshot Tahoe 14-4. It looks like the three officials decide to put the puck at center ice. So it'll be a center ice draw instead of an offensive zone one for Utah. As Grattan takes the draw against Gustafson. Draw one by Utah as Colby Enns gets to center ice. Nil zip it around the boards. Kennedy gets it. Kennedy wearing number 17, a left shot forward. As Connors couldn't reach the puck behind Tahoe's net. Now it goes towards the far point. Tahoe comes up with it. Algiers had a good first period for Tahoe. Across the center ice, veers off to his left, and he'll whip it in. As the puck slides along the boards towards the near side. Gustafson now right wing shot, and that one's blocked away by Bassi. Now left side, Tahoe feeds to the corner. The only guy there was Enns, and Enns will globe it out towards center ice as Connors just couldn't quite reach it far enough. Nate Callum, last night's number 2 star, although he had 2 goals and 2 assists, you could say it would have been the number 1 star if it wasn't for Paperny, the goaltender's effort. As skating across the offensive line is Mayer. He rolls along the boards. Over in the right wing, it glanced off a Pitter stick. Now Kennedy will move it to the middle of the ice for Friesen. Friesen deals to his right as Lebster over the offensive line. He stops in the right corner, feeds it up top. Gansky across towards Stucker. One-timer, and that's blocked. It was blocked by Derflinger. Derflinger looks up to the heavens. That one got him good as he limps towards his bench. Less than 2 minutes left in the first period. Utah leads 1-0. Up ahead, left wing. Lefty shot goes wide. Stucker might have got a stick in the way as the puck was directed towards Bassi. Out to center ice. Lebster will bounce it off the boards. Couldn't get his own pass as Kapchek moves it towards left wing. Now Tahoe over the offensive line. Left wing. Lefty shot. That one might have gone wide or it might have ricocheted off the Bassi. Either way, it's out of play with 1:38 left in the first. The Grizzlies doing a good job of limiting scoring chances. Reed Lebster and Michael Leary push each other, and the linesmen step between them. Now Anthony Collins, who always loves that post-whistle action, as Collins, the 13th-year pro, as he has some words. Very youthful-looking guy for saying he's about 36 years old. As Collins has been around the block a time or 10. Most of the 13 years in this league as a pro have been in this league. Collins, 6'2", 216 pounds. As draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone, 1:38 left in the first. Hopefully everybody's having a fun time this evening. We'll go over some NHL scores during the first intermission. Handful of games, including the Utah Mammoth. They will take on Columbus in just about 20 minutes from now. As Grizzlies have the puck towards the far corner. Utah looking to salvage the third game of the series. A Night Monster goes down battling for the puck now, taking it to John Gillette. He'll race out towards center ice. He'll drop it as Hanson Buchanan, who's got an assist tonight, gets around 2 Night Monsters. But Taylor picked Hanson Buchanan's pocket. Now pass towards the Grizzlies bench, picked up by Gillette. He was looking for Genev at the Tahoe line. Now the Grizzlies make a full line change. Taking the puck is Luke Adam. He'll sweep one out in front. And it's wide of the mark. He was maybe looking for a centering pass, but there is no Night Monster in the area. As Colbien skates along the near side. Now he tried to accelerate around a Night Monster. Puck goes back towards Kapchek, allegedly onside. Night Monsters look to center it to Bailey, passes wide of the mark. As Bailey was cutting towards the net from his right to his left. As the Night Monsters, Poliani will drop it as center ice. 42 seconds left. Night Monsters will nudge it back in as the puck slides along the roulette wheel. As Kennedy will get it to center ice. Riley Connors, 1-on-2. Connors over the offense line, right point, fired towards the net, and the low liner saved by Musatelli in the butterfly position as he holds on with 29.3 seconds left in the first. So Utah will have an offensive zone draw as they've had a strong shot advantage in every game this series. In the first period, here's no difference. Grizzlies on Friday night outshot Tahoe 34-23. And then last night, the Grizzlies had a 53-25 edge in the shot counts. Connors will take the draw against Gustafson. As the Grizzlies once again rolling with 14 skaters. Neil Shea unable to go today. Stepan Timofeyev's missing his second straight game. Christian Felton is out this series. So is Christoph Filion. We haven't seen Rylan Kovacevic since mid-November and haven't seen Avery Winslow since early December. Off the draw, lefty shot. Glove saved by Musatelli. As he holds on, that shot, I believe, was taken by Maxim Barbashev. Either Barbashev or the defenseman that's off the screen right now. Now there's 27 seconds left in the first. Connors takes a draw against Gustafson again. We'd mentioned Gustafson's a strong-looking prospect. He is just 21 years old, third-round pick of Vegas back in 2022. Has a little bit of time in Henderson. He actually was on the roster of the Golden Knights for a time this season. Played in the WHL with Seattle and Lethbridge. Night Monsters dump it in, and icing is on Tahoe with 8.4 seconds left in the first. I kind of joked a little bit, as obviously Tahoe's the league affiliate of the Vegas Golden Knights. I always thought that, if you got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Henderson Silver Knights of the AHL, that the ECHL affiliate should automatically be the Bronze Knights, go with an Olympic theme. But nevertheless, the Night Monsters are certainly a sharp look with a good logo and nice uniforms that they're wearing this evening. It was Military Appreciation Weekend, both the Friday and Saturday night, and they wore it was a pretty good-looking jersey that Tahoe wore. Hard to really describe what it was, but it had a little bit of a military theme in the back of the jersey. Grizzlies off the draw. Lepster shot, and that's blocked away. Now Barbashev will get the loose puck in the right corner. 2 seconds left. Tahoe will flip it out, and it goes to center ice. And that will do it for 20 minutes, and 20 really good minutes of hockey for the Grizzlies. As Utah got a goal from Noah Gansky 8.5 minutes into the contest with Hanson Buchanan, and another Grizzly getting an assist. And after the buzzer, looks like a couple Night Monsters are upset at Noah Gansky. Gansky wiggling around his wrist a little bit. And as we mentioned, there was one fight in the first period as Trent Zwick went after a guy 8 inches smaller than him. Poliani's yelling at the Grizzlies, and I'm not sure we can repeat much of what he's saying. Knowing that the Grizzlies are as shorthanded as they are, you'd wonder if the Night Monsters know that and try to physically go after the Grizzlies ultra aggressively. Grizzlies just calmly skating towards the locker room. But you wonder. Now Trent Zwick's doing a little bit of politicking towards Emil Sharon, the referee. And the Night Monsters know how shorthanded the Grizzlies are, and the Night Monsters are not shorthanded at all. They've got 18 skaters and 2 goalies. So Zwick, once again, is starting to politic with the referee as they're trying to get the Grizzlies to get as many players in the penalty box, seeing if maybe they can get a Grizzly to lose their cool, knowing the fact the Grizzlies have just 14 skaters tonight. Ryan Anderson walking towards the locker room, and there's a shot of DJ McFarland. As DJ's wearing a green sweater, we'd love to get a shot of the Tahoe equipment manager, Jackson Hibbard, who had been with the Grizzlies for many years. But it looks like both teams will cease and desist and head to the locker room, as Tahoe really getting after it with the Grizzlies verbally and getting after it with the referee after the period was over. So Grizzlies had a pretty good 20 minutes of hockey. They outshot Tahoe at least 14-4. And they'll go to the locker room. We'll come back and recap the first 20 minutes of play and also go over some league scores. As Utah leads Tahoe 1-0. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
After one period over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, Grizzlies have a 1-0 lead. I'm Tyson Whiting, hanging out in the Professional Green Studios just outside the Grizzlies team store at Maverick Center. As Noah Gansky got Utah on the board, 8:43 in. It was his second goal of the year. He scored from the right wing. There was a lot of traffic out in front of the net, and so there was a bit of a question as to whether it got redirected, but it didn't, as Gansky scored cleanly, as it's his second goal, and I think both of them were on a Sunday, if I remember right. In November, on a Sunday afternoon, he scored in the first period against the Idaho Steelheads. So 2 goals for Gansky, both of them on the Lord's Day, and both of them in the first period of games this season. I believe it was the first period goal he scored in that game in Idaho, which I remember vividly because it was the final time the Grizzlies were in Idaho, and it was a very, very rare Sunday game over at Idaho Central Arena. So Noah Gansky, 2 goals, both of them on Sundays this year, and both of them in the first period of games. I think both were actually scored from the right wing as well. Hanson Buchanan picked up his team leading 17th assist as he broke a tie with Danny Genev for the club lead. Both Genev and Hanson Buchanan were tied for second among all league rookies in assists. So an assist for Hanson Buchanan, and Reed Lepster picked up the other assist. Lepster now has 8 assists on the year. Grizzlies outshot Tahoe 15-4 in the first period. And Tyler Gratton led Utah with 4 shots on goal. Friesen, Hanson Buchanan, and Gansky each had 2 shots. 1 each for Colby Enns, Luke Salem, John Gillette, and Danny Genev. Even though it looked like Gillette had more than 1 shot in that period, he was only credited with 1 in the first 20 minutes of play. Dominic Massey, the Grizzlies goaltender this afternoon, stopped all 4 shots he saw. Musatelli stopped 14 of 15. As Musatelli is in there for Jordan Paperny, as Paperny stopped 51 of 53 in last night's game. Grizzlies 0 for 1 on the power play, as Trent Zwick got a tripping minor 51 seconds in. I think the Grizzlies might have gotten 1 shot on that power play opportunity, And then Luke Salem and Trenton Zwick each got fighting majors. Zwick goes 6'6" and 207 pounds, and Salem goes 5'10", 181. And so both guys got fighting majors, and we kind of mentioned it. The Grizzlies are rolling with 14 skaters. Unfortunately, Neil Shea was unable to go, and Stepan Timofeyev has missed the last 2 games. Grizzlies, unfortunately, have had just a huge rash of injuries recently. And so you kind of wondered if Tahoe would, just try to get, kind of mix it up a little bit, knowing how shorthanded the Grizzlies are, maybe try to pick some fights and try to get some Grizzlies in the penalty box, especially among the defensemen. And that's why I think they're going after Gansky at the end of the period, knowing that Gansky is only one of 5 defensemen this evening. And it almost looked like Trent Zwick was trying to talk the referee into some sort of call that maybe Gansky did or didn't do, just because they know how shorthanded. So it looked like Tahoe was really going after Utah's defensemen, knowing that they only have 5 this evening and knowing the Grizzlies only have 9 forwards. So that's something to just keep an eye out for the final 40 minutes of this game. Handful of games across the league. How about a wild one played at Intrust Banker Arena? Remember on January 2nd when the Grizzlies had a 7-6 game against Wichita? In that game, unfortunately, Wichita got the overtime game winner. Well, Allen got a 7-6 victory over Wichita as Allen sweeps Wichita in a 3-game series. Game winner was scored by Brad Morrison for Allen, 7:32 into the third period. So Allen was 7 goals on 25 shots. The Americans are actually playing pretty good hockey, as the Americans' record is now 19-12-3 on the year. As Allen, with the victory, is now just 2 points behind Tahoe for third place in the Mountain Division standings. Other action across the league, Kalamazoo defeats Iowa 4-3. As both teams had 2 goals in the third period. Game winner was scored by Cox, 15-10 into the third for Kalamazoo. In overtime, Reading defeats Maine 4-3. The Ragin' Sajin, Brandon Sajin, got the game winner for Reading, 4:38 into OT. Sajin was with the Grizzlies during the 2019-2020 season. Will Cranley gets the victory in net for the Florida Everblades as Florida defeated Worcester 5-3. Cranley stopped 17 of 20. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts had 2 assists to lead the Florida Everblades. It was Florida 5, Worcester 3. Wheeling gets a 4-2 victory over Trois-Rivières. Former Grizzly Craig Armstrong's had an amazing run for Wheeling. He's played about as good as anybody in the league over the last month. Armstrong scored 2 goals for the Nailers, and he gets the victory. The goaltender for Trois-Rivières is Vinny Duplessis, who was one of Utah's goaltenders last season. Vinny saved 24 of 27 in the loss. So Wheeling 4, Trois-Rivières 2, and former Grizzly Craig Armstrong scored 2 goals. The second goal was an empty netter. First one was against his former teammate of last year, Vinny Duplessis. After one period, Toledo leads Fort Wayne 2-1. Former league MVP Brandon Hawkins and Dennis Smirnoff with the assists, or with the Toledo goals. McGarrett has the Fort Wayne tally. Interesting trivia question. He mentioned there are only 2 players in the league this season that have 2 or more hat tricks. And the answer is Danny Genev and Brandon Hawkins. Those are the 2 players that have 2 hat tricks in the league this season. One other game in progress after one period. Indy and Rapid City are tied at 1. Indy had 25 shots in the first period. Rapid City had 10. And after one period, Indy and Rapid City are tied at 1. The goaltender for Rapid City has seen a game's worth of shots. DiMatteo saved 24 of 25 in the first period alone. In fact, Broadhurst of Indy had 6 shots all by himself in the first period, as that game is played at the Monument in Rapid City, and they are tied at 1 after one period. Grizzlies have yet to face Rapid City this season, meaning they'll meet quite a bit in the second half of the year. Remember, the Grizzlies will be in Rapid City a couple weeks from now for a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday baseball-style 3-game series with night games on Friday and Saturday and an afternoon game on Sunday, January 25th. So that's the action across the league. When we come back, we'll check in on the NHL scores as well as some NFL playoff scores. After one period, Utah leads 1-0 as Noah Gansky scored his second of the year 8.5 minutes into the first period. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
It's NFL Wild Card Weekend, as there's 3 NFL games today. Earlier today, the Bills defeat the Jaguars 27-24 in the AFC Wild Card, as Josh Allen had 2 touchdown rushes and a touchdown pass. Trevor Lawrence 3 touchdowns but 2 interceptions, and the last of those 2 INTs was the one that clinched the victory for Buffalo, as the Bills advance to the AFC divisional round and the Jaguars go home. Jacksonville had a 13-4 regular season. After 3 quarters, the Philadelphia Eagles have a 16-10 lead over the San Francisco 49ers. That game played in Philadelphia. It's the 3rd all-time playoff meeting between the 49ers and Eagles. They met in the 1996 wild card round, where Steve Young defeated Ty Detmer. As Young was the quarterback for the 49ers, and Detmer, the former Heisman Trophy winner, was with the Philadelphia Eagles. That was in 1996, and the 49ers, if I remember right, won either 14-0 or 14-3. Then a few years ago in the NFC Championship game, it was Philadelphia getting a big victory over San Francisco, and the 49ers were severely shorthanded in terms of quarterbacks in that game. So Eagles have a 6-point lead after 3 quarters over the 49ers in the NFC wildcard round. And later on today, at about 6 o'clock, the Chargers are at the New England Patriots in an AFC wildcard game. A handful of games across the National Hockey League. It was a busy schedule yesterday, so not too much action going on today. The Utah Mammoth will be in action at 5 o'clock at Delta Center, as they will take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mammoth are 22-20-3 on the year. They're led by Dylan Gunther, who has 21 goals this season. Clayton Keller, the captain, has 28 assists. Keller is headed to the Olympics this season, as he will represent Team USA. Columbus was shut out by Trent Miner and the Colorado Avalanche 4-0 yesterday. Columbus is 18-19-7. One game in progress. After 2 periods, the Bruins lead the Penguins 1-0. Victor Arvidsson scored his 9th of the year exactly 11 minutes into the contest. Getting underway at 5 o'clock, the Capitals are at the Predators, and at 6 o'clock, the Golden Knights are at the San Jose Sharks. One final in the NHL, the Jets get a 4-3 victory over the Devils. And so Winnipeg got a game winner from Tanner Pearson, 6:17 into the third to break a 3-3 tie, and Winnipeg gets the victory 4-3 over the New Jersey Devils. Over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, Utah has a 1-0 lead. Will skate 5-on-5 on the other side. Noah Gansky as the game's lone goal, as he scored 8:43 in, with Aiden Hansen-Buchanan picking up his 17th assist of the year, and Reed Webster getting his 8th assist of the campaign. Don't forget, the Grizzlies will be home this upcoming weekend for a 3-game set against Tahoe's Kansas City Mavericks. That should be a ton of fun. The next Grizzly game will be on Friday night. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off, but we want to see you at Maverick Center. Get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. It should be a ton of fun. Remember, it's an AFC Friday where tickets are discounted with your AFC debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. Saturday, January 17th, is going to be Youth Sports Night. And on January 18th, next Sunday, will be a sensory-friendly game. So it should be a fun series. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. It's been a long time since the Grizzlies have had a home game. In fact, by the time we get to Friday, I believe it's going to be 34 days between home games. Remember, the last home game was Teddy Bear Toss Night on December 13th, which seems like it was an eternity ago. It was certainly a year ago, because after all, the calendar switched from 2025 to 2026. As they show on replay, or tried to show on replay, the Trent Zwick fight with Luke Salem. As we got about 3 minutes of real time before we start the second period. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. You've been tuned into the first intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting, hanging out in the professional green studios at Maverick Center. Kind of interesting, they're showing the highlights of the first period, and they didn't include the Noah Gansky goal. They somehow left that out, and that's the most important part of the game as Utah leads 1-0. Grizz outshot Tahoe 15-4 in the first period as Utah was led by 4 shots from Tyler Gratton, 2 shots from Evan Friesen, Aiden Hansen-Bukata, and Noah Gansky. And obviously Gansky scored on one of his 2 attempts. As we'll skate 5-on-5 to start the third period. Utah will start out with a forward line of Riley Connors and Maxime Barbashev and Sean Kennedy, and a defensive unit of Robbie Stucker and Noah Gansky as the lights go flickering on and off over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. The Night Monsters will start out with a forward line of Luke Adam with Casey Bailey and Jake McGrew. In a defensive pairing, we can't see the 2 defensemen, but getting the start today was Kalen Taylor and Brennan Kapchek. So that might be the 2 defensemen on the ice for the Night Monsters. 20 minutes are put on the score bug at the top left of the corner of the screen on Flow Sports. We do ask for a little bit of patience if you're viewing the game on YouTube, as we are at the mercy of the camera feed, and it's not necessarily the best camera feed we've ever seen. Draught center ice, Connors against Casey Bailey, as one of the linesmen crouches down low. Puck is dropped and won by Tahoe as Brennan Kapchek will move it out to center ice in the right wing off the boards. As sweeping it in is a Night Monster. Now Luke Adams skates along the right wing. I'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Dominic Bassey, the Utah goaltender, stopped all 4 shots he saw in the first period. As the Night Monsters get it out towards center ice, Kalen Taylor moves it ahead as it goes past Gansky deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Bailey and Stucker battle in the left corner. Stucker plays soccer, literally kicking it towards the Utah blue line. It goes past Gillette as Tahoe reset in their own zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Here in the second period, Tahoe from our right to left. At least as we're seeing it on the computer screen. Gustafson, he collides with a Grizzly and Dane Genève. Now Utah comes back the other way. Gillette drops it for Ricketts. Ricketts tried to center it, and it's taken away by Trent Zwick, and Zwick will bounce one ahead. Puck goes tape to tape. Gustafson right side looking for a centering pass. Shot and a score. Gustafson to Mayer to the back of the net. As Samuel Mayer gets his 9th of the year, and we're tied at 58 seconds into the second period. As Gustafson skated towards the right circle and cutting towards the net is Mayer. It was a 2-on-2 play. Originally, it was a 2-on-1 with Hansen-Bukata trailing the play. As the Night Monsters get the goal on their 5th shot of the night. And with Hanson Buchanan trailing the play, it officially was an odd man breaks. The long-range pass towards the Utah blue line connected. And just like that, we're tied at 1. As Gustafson's going to get the main assist. Kind of funny when you see these video feeds when the Grizzlies score, not a single replay. When Tahoe scores, you see the goal over and over and over and over again. Got to have some fun with these remote feeds. Otherwise, I just punch my fist through the computer screen with as terrible as the feed can be at times. But nevertheless, we're tied at 1, 58 seconds into the second period. As just waiting for the referee, Emil Sharon, as now he skates towards center ice. And now it looks like they're going to go to video replay. So Emil Sharon, who must be a soccer fan, he does the old screen thing, does a little bit of a square, pantomiming a square, and he's going to go to video replay. Well, I know there's only a certain number of things in this league that you can review. It's not like you can review offsides or, there's only a certain number of things you can review. You can review whether the puck crossed the goal line. Didn't look like goaltender interference. It's kind of funny now that they go to video replay, and I think we're getting I think the people on Flow Sports are getting literally what's being shown on whatever video board they got in Tahoe. So now that they're going to video replay, they stopped showing the 20 replays. Now they're just showing crowd shots. There wasn't really anything that I saw that would have said it wasn't a goal. Didn't look like anybody made contact with Bassey. Seemed like a typical 2-on-1 with a centering pass coming through with a goal. I'm not sure if there was a kicking motion there. It looked like it was caught cleanly by Mayer's stick. So they're taking a look at it, even though we're not sure. Didn't really see anything in the replays that we saw that would say that it wasn't a goal. But Emil Sharon, the referee, will take a good long look at it. It's actually the 9th game the Grizzlies have played that's been involved with referee Emil Sharon. So Grizzlies have gotten pretty familiar with him. I'm not sure the Grizzlies have that great of a record in games he's officiated. So right now it's a 1-1 game. Grizzlies fans are hoping that he sees something that would disallow the goal. Well, there really wasn't anything that we saw that would wave it off. And like we said, it does look like a pretty good Sunday afternoon crowd over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. A third of 9 regular season meetings between the clubs. Utah will be back in Tahoe in the first week of February 4th, 6th, and 7th. And I'd like to know who made the schedule this year, because the original schedule literally had the Grizzlies playing during the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 8th in Tahoe. So they switched that game from the February 8th up to February 4th, which is a Wednesday. And then the Night Monsters will be at Maverick Center for a 3-game set on February 25th, 27th, and 28th. Don't forget that Grizz Fight Cancer Weekend will be February 27th and 28th when the Tahoe Night Monsters are in town. So Emil Sharon appears to be taking a good long look at this replay, as the Grizzlies bench must have spotted something that would tell him to take another look at it. We're not really sure. I mean, based on the replays we saw, there wasn't really anything that would have disallowed it. Obviously, in this particular league, there's not as many reviewable things as you would have in, say, the National Hockey League, where you can review offside, you can review any number of things. I'm not, unless they changed the rule over the last weekend, I'm not really sure you can review offsides or anything of that nature. Maybe there was a kicking motion. I mean, we saw Stucker with a kicking motion about a minute ago, about a few minutes before the goal, but that was over in the corner. There wasn't anything there. But nevertheless, Emil Sharon really is taking a good long look at it. As fans see themselves on the video board and start waving back and forth. Grizzlies with a quick start to this game. As Noah Gansky scored 8.5 minutes in, and Utah had a 15-4 shot advantage in the first period. So once again, they're continuing to look at video replay of, hard to really say what they look. I mean, based on what we saw, unless the Grizzlies bench saw something different, there wasn't anything that we saw in the replays that would disallow the goal. So the replay now is gone for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And by the time this replay is done, we're going to see literally every fan in attendance. So now Noah Gansky's talking with the referee. Now it looks like it's signaled. Well, we couldn't see the signal, but I imagine it's a good goal. As Emil Sharon's kind of describing with a little bit of body motion what Emil Sharon saw in the feed that he got. So it is a good goal. It's a 1-1 tie. And Noah Gansky will skate back towards the Grizzlies bench to tell John Buchanan and Ryan Anderson, the Grizzlies coaches, what referee Emil Sharon told them. So we're tied at 1 as the Night Monsters get on the board 58 seconds into the second period with Samuel Marigane the goal, Gustafson, and Trent Zwick with the assist. Zwick now has a point in 9 straight games. As puck towards the far corner of the Grizzlies zone, Ricketts gets hit in the back. Now right wing shot, and that one hits the outside of the cage. Might have gotten a piece of Bassey as Grizzlies race towards the middle of the ice. As Ricketts trying to get ahead towards Gillette. Pass goes wide of the mark. Derflinger, as he's over in the left point of the Grizzlies zone, trying to get towards the corner, but O'Leary wasn't there, and the Grizzlies will slice it out towards center ice. Kapchek gets it to Derflinger, who will ricochet it off the boards. It goes towards Bassey and behind his net. Setting up shop is Aiden Hansen Buchanan sporting a mustache. Buchanan raises his left arm. Has played about 1:50 of this second period as he gets it towards Lebster. Lebster, long-range feeds picked off by Tahoe and fakes out the camera operator. Colbiens slides it to the center ice logo. Anthony Collins will bounce it back in as Buchanan will race around Tahoe's net as he boxes Merritt out for the puck. Now Merritt gets it, drops it as Anthony Collins in his offensive zone. Gets to the middle of the ice now to the right wing. Blake Wells with a shot, and it kicks off a Bassey. Puck flips in the slot as Collins gets it in the high slot. He fires a righty shot, and that's blocked. Colbiens directs it towards Lebster. Lebster will globe it out towards the Tahoe zone. Puck keeping ups off the far wing boards. Brendan Kapchek gets it. He'll move it across towards Taylor on the near side. Taylor outlets to the Tahoe line, and skating out towards center ice is Bailey, who dumps it in. As Bailey chases after it, getting there in front of him is Luke Salem. Now Salem collides with a couple Night Monsters. Bailey trying to break free of the puck. It's tapped by a Grizzly. Now towards the left corner, it's taken by Jake McGrew, who's had a good series. McGrew, a second-year Night Monster. Throws to the right side for Stucker. Stucker goes down with McGrew in the area. Salem gets double-teamed, and he'll slide it back towards Stucker in the far corner. Stucker gets hacked and whacked by McGrew. Puck slides back to center ice, where Alger takes it for Tahoe. Alger enters from the left wing, kind of casually, trying to split a double team, and Lebster tapped it away from him. Grizzlies will ring it off the glass, and the puck will hip it up towards the Tahoe zone. Grizzlies will make a line change. We played about 3.5 minutes of this second period. Tahoe now the right wing. They'll take a righty shot, and that's blocked before it gets towards Bassey as Gustafson gets hit in the back by Hansen Buchanan. Now the Grizzlies take control of the puck. Genev gets the stick lifted, but he's able to dump it in. Barbashev on an impossible angle tried to backhand it off the goaltender, and it goes wide of the mark. It actually looks like Tahoe switched goaltenders as Musatelli was in there for Tahoe, and it looks like now Paperny is in net for the Night Monster. So Paperny appears to be the Tahoe goaltender. Shot from the left wing is blocked away by the shoulder of Bassey as Swick gives some lumber towards Kennedy. Night Monsters back deep in their own zone. So Paperny is now the goaltender for Tahoe as he replaced Musatelli. Swick collides with a Grizzly at center ice. Puck ricochets off the near wing boards. Genev jumps to try to break free of a Night Monster. Now right wing, Connors tried to flip one towards the net and missed wide of the mark. Paperny saw 53 shots in last night's game, and he saved 51 of them, so he might be a tired goaltender. Genev towards the right wing, dances around. He fires a lefty shot that goes wide. Might have gotten towards Paperny. There's 2 or 3 bodies in front of the Tahoe goaltender. Night Monsters ice the puck as Stucker and Salem casually will chase after it, and the whistle blows with 15:32 left in the second. Jordan Paperny's making his 14th appearance this year. The Tahoe goaltender's got a record of 9-3-0-1 with a .921 save percentage and a 3.19 goals against average. So Paperny's in there for Jacob Musatelli, who got the start. He gave up the goal to Noah Gansky, and Musatelli, not sure if it's an injury. Can't possibly be that he gave up one goal and was pulled, so it had to have been an injury of some kind to put Jordan Paperny in net. Records take the draw for Utah against Devin Poliani. As Poliani, 17 goals this season. Utah wins the draw. Genev left wing, lefty shot, and that one misses. Glove side on Paperny. As Robbie Stucker feeds in the middle of the ice, tapped off of his stick as they were looking for John Gillette. Tahoe ices the puck, but no icing called as the Night Monsters fit in a full line change. Salem will sail it towards Tahoe ice. Night Monsters bounce it at center ice. The puck was played with a high stick, and that stops play with 15:09 left in the second. Grizzlies have been a high shot volume club over the last month or so. In fact, we talked about over the last 6 games, Grizzlies are averaging 42 shots per game. Over the last 17 games, Grizzlies are averaging 36.58 shots per game. And the Grizzlies, in terms of overall this season, they're up there right now as they are third in the league in shots per game at 33.50. There'll be a quiz on all that during the second intermission. Pitters crosses center ice left wing. He'll whip it around the boards as 3 Grizzlies, now a 4th Grizzly over in the right corner, battling with 2 night monsters. Skansky over there with Gratton. Lebster looking nearby as Hanson Buchanan using his strength to kind of lean on Derflinger. Derflinger throws a right punch with his glove. Now Derflinger with another right punch with his glove. And that might be why he's become a fan favorite, Derflinger, as we're having a Jake Derflinger lookalike contest today. As Tahoe overleads it for Samuel Mayer. Grizzlies will chip it back towards offensive ice. They were looking for Gratton. He's cut off by Brennan Kapchuk, the speedy defenseman, 5'9", 160 pounds. Stucker from neutral ice fires on towards Paperny, who makes the stop. As Tahoe out towards center ice, and Mayer tried to move it towards his right, and the puck ricochets out of play from neutral ice with 14:12 left in the second. So we're tied at 1. Noah Gansky scored 8:47 into the game with the assist going to Reed Lebster and Aiden Hanson-Bucata. Tahoe tied it up 58 seconds in as Mayer got his 9th of the year. Jordan Gustafson and Trent Zwick with the assists. Draw at center ice, the 2 number 12s, Riley Connors for Utah and Blake Wells for Tahoe. Wells, the former Grizzly. As Tahoe gets the puck, Merritt, he's over in the corner. He gets pinned to the boards by Ends. Now Wells trying to break free of Connors. We'll move it to the right side now up top. Tahoe's Callan gets towards Taylor, left side. Taylor will bounce one across. There wasn't much of a shooting angle with so many bodies in front of the crease in front of Dominic Bassey. As puck towards the right side, Kennedy chases after it. Tahoe gets there first as Merritt around the boards with Collins nearby. Now Taylor over in the left wing gets it towards Collins. Collins switches places with Taylor. Now to the right point. Righty shot. Glove saved by Bassey. And after the whistle, Connor Merritt having a bit of a push with Riley Connors. So we're tied at 1 as both teams have put together a pretty good effort in the 3rd game in 3 days. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. So we're tied at 1 early in the second period. According to the ECHL box score, they say Musatelli actually left right after the Gansky goal, even though the camera never showed Musatelli going to the bench or anything of that nature. They never showed Paperny entering the ice, but apparently that's when Paperny entered the game, replacing Musatelli, according to the ECHL box score over on the ECHL app. Tahoe's taken each of the first 3 shots of the second period. Dominic Bassey for Utah saved 6 of 7. As the draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone, Utah's rolling with 14 skaters tonight as Neil Shea was unable to go. He was a game-time decision. Utah's without Stepan Timofeyev for the second straight game. Utah's been without Christian Felton this series. A lot of injuries have piled up. As Tahoe gets the puck, Callan left side. Shot kick saved by Bassey off his right pad. Sage Weinstein was reassigned to Colorado yesterday. Now right side, lefty shot to score. Mayer fired towards the net. It might have gotten redirected by Luke Adam. Everybody talks in the Tahoe bench, and it looks like Luke Adam skates the celebration aisle first as Adam redirects the Samuel Mayer shot as he gets his 9th of the year. And it's now a 2-1 Tahoe lead. As Callan was over in the left point, he fired towards Bassey with a kick save as they show the replay. It's kind of an extended replay. And one-timer by Mayer. Adam was in front of the crease, and according to Luke Adam, he got a piece of it. So Night Monsters have second period goals from Samuel Mayer and Luke Adam. Mayer's going to get the main assist on the Adam goal. Mayer now has 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. Behind the net, Lebster looking for a wraparound shot saved by Paperny. And now Paperny looks like he's covered up with Tyler Gratton battling in front of the net. So Grizzlies quickly got the puck in the offensive zone. Lebster was kind of behind the net, dangling back and forth, trying to slide one along the far post, and Paperny was able to cut it off. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. It's the third game in 3 days for both teams, but obviously for the Grizzlies, they started the series with 17 skaters on Friday. They had 15 yesterday with the injury to Timofeyev and Weinstein getting called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Neil Shea unable to go today, so the Grizzlies are down to 14 skaters. Good thing it's not a 4-game series in Tahoe. Who knows what the Grizzlies would be rolling with on a game on a Monday or a Tuesday over in Tahoe. Gratton at the Tahoe line. Right wing, he dumps it in off the Tahoe backboards. As now the puck is still in the Tahoe zone. Lebster right wing, looking for a centering pass, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. As Lebster bounced one in front of the net for Evan Friesen. Now the puck kicks towards the right point. Stucker fires towards the net, and that gets redirected. Gratton right wing, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. He holds on with 12:36 left in the second. White Gratton had 4 shots in the first period, and he had a good look from the right circle that Paperny made the stop on. So Gratton is up to 5 shots on goal for the Grizzlies here this evening. As Tahoe leads 2-1, both teams will switch up skaters. The draw is going to be in the right circle. As Riley Connors will crouch down and take the draw against Mike O'Leary. Linesman Austin Bove gets down way low to take the draw, just kind of crouching down about towards Connors' knees. And the Grizzlies face off one by Tahoe. Grizzlies get it back in as Mayer along the right side. Now turnover. Barbashev down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Paperny. Boy, Jordan Paperny's been public enemy number 1 among Grizzlies fans' eyes. Boy, Barbashev had a pretty good look about 15 feet in front of the crease. Grade A chance. Paperny made a stylish glove save. Boy, I think the Grizzlies were a little bit happy to see, and nothing against Musatelli, but I think they were a little bit happy not to see Paperny in net. But Paperny entered the game. Apparently entered after the Gansky goal. Had to have been an injury related. Grizzlies won the draw as Barbashev flips one out of play. It looked like he tried to get the top of the glass and got too much air under it. Another offensive zone draw for Utah as Barbashev and Connors talk things over. I know that there's some Vegas fans, and obviously Maxime Barbashev, his brother's Ivan Barbashev of the Vegas Golden Knights. Maxime Barbashev's really picked it up over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's playing some of his best hockey of his pro career. Last year, he spent some time in the AHL with the Hartford Wolfpack and also spent time with Bloomington in this league. Ends right wing, shot that missed the net glove side on Paperny. Ends scored from the right wing late in the first period last night. As puck skies out towards center ice and deep into the Tahoe zone. As Salem and Ends looked like a night monster tried to jump cut. As Derflinger hits Ends in the back pretty hard. As Grizzlies will nudge it out to center ice. Connors will push the puck towards the far wing boards. He tries to get his own pass. Connors backhands one towards the Tahoe back wall. As the Night Monsters will globe it out towards neutral ice. Now the Grizzlies get spun around Salem near the Utah line. Now it's towards the right wing. Righty shot, and that one's blocked away by Bassey as the puck goes into the Tahoe zone. Run down by Brennan Kapchek as John Gillette in the area to close the gap. As now the Night Monsters get to the far corner. Back over to the left point. Grizzlies with a lefty shot. That one's blocked away by, I believe, Craig McCabe in his second game with Tahoe. Genev to the right goal line. Gillette skates in. He gets denied by Paperny. As Genev skates towards the left point. Now he stops, feeds it to Ricketts in the left corner. Ricketts dancing around, spins. As Ricketts now tries to reverse back towards the corner. He gets pinned to the boards, and the puck goes back to neutral ice. Grizzlies in control of the puck Utah will bounce one across to Genev, who collects it, and he's in the right wing as Genev over the offensive line, but he loses control of the puck as Genev slides to the ice face first. As Blake Wells crosses center ice right wing, he'll chip it in. Salem chases after it, as Wells trying to get around Jack Ricketts. Ricketts gets a drop pass from Salem. As the puck goes bounced out towards center ice, they're looking for Tyler Grant, the Grizzlies captain. Mayer towards the left wing. Either the ice surface is not good this Sunday afternoon, or teams in the fatigue of 3 games less than 48 hours is really starting to show. Grizzlies about halfway through the scheduled 60-minute affair as Lepster gets hit along the far side. Now Tahoe moves it out to center ice. It's picked off by Stucker. Now the puck bounces. Mayer lets it go on what would have been an offside. Stucker will move one angle left, cross ice, 2-on-2. Grizzlies look for a centering pass for Lepster, and the puck got some air under it, and Paperny catches it waist high. He stops play with 10:03 left in the second. So it'll be another offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies as Paperny hands linesman Austin Bove the puck. And if you're watching on Flow Sports, watch how low he gets, crouching down to drop the puck. Bove, not a very tall linesman. In fact, it's been the same linesman for every game in this series. If you're watching on Flow Sports, see how low he gets as Connors take the draw against Devin Poliani. As both guys drop their sticks, Grizzlies win the faceoff. Connors a pretty good forward on the faceoff circle. Utah has missed Luke Manning in that regard, but Connors and a couple of the other forwards have done a good job picking up the slack. Grizzlies now have the puck in their own zone. Utah will bounce one cross ice towards the left wing. Now diagonal pass to the right as it goes towards Barbashev, who stops before he gets to the right corner, looking for a centering pass for Connors off his stick. Connors gets pushed to the boards by Algier. Kennedy will sweep one towards his left, looking for Hanson Bukata along the left wing boards. Puck goes towards Connors. He fires towards the net, sticked away by Paperny. Now back towards Hanson Bukata. He reverses the puck back around. Near point, Genev has to go past him. Enns keeps it in. Now Genev right side. He gets double teamed in the middle of the ice. Grizzlies bouncing puck towards the slot. Connors backhand shot. Now forehand shot saved by Paperny. And Riley Connors is denied by the Tahoe goaltender. Boy, Connors in every game in this series has had some good looks. And he's looking around shaking his head as he knew he had a good look to try to tie it up. A little bit more than 9 minutes are left in the second period. Tahoe leads 2-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new Bean to Cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Tahoe leads Utah 2-1 as there's a little bit more than 9 minutes left in the second period. We're past the halfway point, 9:17 to be exact. Noah Gansky got Utah on the board, 8:43 into the first period. Hanson Bukata and Lepster with the assist. Samuel Mayer tied it up 58 seconds into the second period with Gustafson and Zwick getting the assist. Luke Adam redirected a Samuel Mayer shot, 6:33 in. Nate Callan also with an assist. And that's where we sit with Tahoe leading 2-1. Tyler Gratton leads the Grizzlies with 6 shots on goal. Draw in the Tahoe zones won by the Night Monsters. They're a second-year franchise affiliated with the Vegas Golden Knights. Grizzlies in their, 32nd year of existence, affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche. Left wing, lefty shots blocked as Genev will drop it off. I wish the Grizzlies had one more year of existence so we can play in one of those outdoor games over at Rice-Eccles Stadium next season. Puck around the boards towards Genev. I guess we can get out there with a couple friends, maybe sneak into the building at 2 a.m. with skates and get on the ice over at Rice-Eccles Stadium. That should be a ton of fun about a calendar year from now. As the Winter Classic in 2027 will be in the Salt Lake Valley. As the Golden Knights out towards center ice. As taking the puck is Wells. Make that O'Leary number 10. As he dumps it in, he got hit, and he'll skate towards the bench. As the Grizzlies deep in their own zone. Utah will switch up skaters, skating 5-on-5. Luke Salem sporting a beard as he'll fling one angle left as it goes towards Gratton, who already has 6 shots tonight. Gratton will stop, pivot. He's in the right point, gets it across down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, and that's blocked. That shot was taken by Salem. Now backhand shot by Lebster, and a save by Paperny as the puck went around Tahoe's net, and Lebster had a good look from the right wing. He fired a backhand look, but Paperny made the save, and the Tahoe goaltender has been outstanding in this series. So the Grizzlies are up to 21 shots. Reed Lebster and Riley Connors have had some good looks over the last minute of action. Paperny didn't get the start. It was Jacob Musatelli making his Tahoe debut. And apparently, according to the ECHL box score, he got removed after Gansky scored. But, not had to have been an injury-related type of thing. Mostly because, Paperny played Friday and Saturday. I can't imagine that one goal and you're out kind of scenario. But nevertheless, Paperny is in net for Musatelli. As Grizzlies ice the puck as the whistle blows with 7:47 left in the second. Last of a 3-game series, Tahoe got a 6-3 victory on Friday. And then last night, Grizzlies got goals from Colby Enns and Reed Lebster in a 6-2 loss. The Grizzlies are looking to improve things here defensively as they've given up 25 goals in their last 4 games. The draw's going to be over in the right circle. Utah has had some great individual offensive performances from Danny Genev and company, as Genev came into play leading the league with 131 shots on goal. Draws over in the right circle, which is the far side, as the Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the second period. Evan Friesen will take the puck and take the face-off against Casey Bailey. As a draw won by Utah's Luke Salem. Will ricochet the puck off the far wing boards. It's captured by a Night Monster as Samuel Mayer will flip one angle right. And the puck goes towards the Night Monster, skates around the middle of the ice. They look to center it towards Luke Adam. Adam gets it, shot saved by Bassey, and he holds on. Bassey kind of holding his face a little bit. It looked like he got ran into by Luke Adam. And that stops play with 7:31 left in the second. So hopefully Dominic Bassey's okay. He's a former 6th-round pick by the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2019 draft. And he's a tall goaltender, listed at 6'6" and 197 pounds. And he looks every bit of it. A native of Alexandria, Virginia. In fact, Dominic Bassey last year was a teammate with Grizzly forward Riley Connors. And there's Connors taking the draw against Bailey as Tahoe wins the faceoff. Right side, righty shot, saved by Bassey, as he holds on in the butterfly position with 7:27 left in the second. It's Dominic Bassey's second game as a Grizzly. He appeared in the January 2nd game in Wichita and saved 31 of 38. Austin Bove crouching down low. He's the linesman as Connors will take the draw against Casey Bailey again. As Tahoe's up to 8 shots on goal according to the score bug. As Tahoe wins the draw, they skeet towards the right corner. Now behind the net, Hanson Bukata will nudge it ahead towards the near circle for Barbashev. The near circle and the end the Grizzlies are defending is a roulette wheel on the outside of the circle. As Barbashev gets it across, Stucker left wing, looking for a lefty shot, and it's blocked. Actually, would have been a righty shot from the left wing as Tahoe over the offensive line, but they're offside as Bailey kind of casually got the puck in. 7:03 is left in the second. As Bailey with the puck just kind of slowed down a little bit getting to the Utah blue line, and the whistle blows as Tahoe is offside. Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now known as X, and TikTok. And the Grizzlies are absolute superstars on TikTok. Draws at neutral ice after the Night Monsters were called for offside. Jack Ricketts will crouch down low. Ricketts with an AHL contract with the Tucson Roadrunners. Ricketts wins the draw. Genev gets around a couple skaters, skates in, backhand shot, saved by Paperny, as Genev was falling down as he was taking the backhand shot. No penalty on the play. As John Gillette trying to move it ahead, it's taken away by the Night Monsters. 2-on-1, now 3-on-1. Night Monsters skate towards the right side. Righty shot, saved by Bassey. Night Monsters hacking away. Puck still alive. Utah comes up with it. Gratton one hands it towards Genev in the left wing. Utah's a 2-on-1. Genev over to Ricketts. Ricketts right side, lefty shot. And that one bounced off of Paperny's glove, and it flies out of play with 6:33 left in the second. Boy, the Grizzlies have had some good chances in the second frame. Utah to 2-on-1, and Genev got it across towards Ricketts, and Ricketts, who's a good goal scorer, trying to go glove side, and it bounced off of Paperny's glove. A lot of near misses, not only tonight, but all weekend for the Grizzlies offensively, as they have scored 6 goals so far in this series, but if they were facing a lesser goaltender, Utah would probably have at least 10 in this set. Friesen will take the draw against O'Leary. 6:33 is left in the second period as we're skating 5-on-5. Haven't had a single penalty so far in this second period. Referee this weekend's let them play. Tahoe with the puck as O'Leary will skate towards the right side, skates to the corners. He gets some lumber in the back from Salem as puck slides, as Utah will bounce one off the glass. It goes over Taylor's head, and icing is going to be on Utah with 6:14 left in the second. So draw comes back towards Dominic Bassey, who's backed up today by Dylan Wells. If you had joined us late or didn't see the news, Kyle Kaiser, who's been with the Grizzlies for a little bit this season, the veteran goaltender, picked up a 35-save shutout for the Colorado Eagles. It's his second shutout with the Eagles this season. And Trent Miner yesterday got his first NHL victory, and he got a shutout of his own, 4-0 over Columbus. And Columbus right now is over at Delta Center taking on the Utah Mammoth. We'll go over an update on that game during the second intermission. O'Leary wins the draw for Tahoe over in the left wing. Taylor skates towards the corner, stops. He's being hawked by Reed Lebster. Taylor breaks free of Lebster towards the right goal line. Taylor moves up top. Now across, as taking the puck is Adam Pitters. Pitters, a small lefty shot forward. Now he slides one up top to Taylor, who couldn't reach it. The puck goes deep into the Night Monsters zone. As we have 5 minutes, 50 seconds on a moving clock in the second period. As Kalen Taylor, the first-year pro, he'll race across center ice. An impressive-looking athlete, 6'2", 194 pounds. He whips it around the boards and comes off the ice for a change. As the Grizzlies will bounce one all the way towards Paperny. Paperny plays at the far goal line. Looked like it would have been icing, and Paperny not played it. But we play on with less than 5.5 minutes left in this second period. As the Night Monsters over the offensive line, Wells will bounce one out in front. Bassey cuts it off. As looked like Wells looking for a backhand feed towards Merritt. As Wells tried to get to Merritt, and Bassey anticipated it, and he cut in front of the crease to make sure that Merritt couldn't get a piece of the puck. A little bit more than 5 minutes left in the second period. Tahoe leads Utah 2-1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Tahoe leads Utah 2-1. Grizzlies got a first period goal from Noah Gansky, 8:43 in. And Tahoe got second period goals from Samuel Mayer, 58 seconds in, and Luke Adams, 6:33 in. Looks like a pretty good Sunday crowd over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Not a very big building. It only holds about 4,300. They've got a wall that's over, which is on the left side of what we're watching on Flow Sports. And with that, you would think that they put a huge, giant video screen there to cover up the wall, or at least have a poster or something, get Luke Adam, get there, just blow up a photo of him and get him on one of those sides. Maybe Adam on one side of the wall, and then on the other side, have a picture of like Jake McGrew or something. But nevertheless, it looks like a pretty fun venue. 2-1 Tahoe, as we're hanging out in the Professional Green Studios at Maverick Center. Maverick Center was built in the summer of 1997. I love the trivia question, though, when we talk about Maverick Center, about the first event in the history of Maverick Center. At that point, it was called East Center, and it was WCW Monday Nitro. And in that particular night, Bill Goldberg made his WCW debut. So Grizzlies won the draw out towards center ice. It's a fun fact I love to throw around from time to time. Kennedy dumps it in as the puck goes back towards Tahoe. Night Monsters may have numbers if they want it. 3-on-2. Night Monsters over the offense line. Grizzlies trying the play. Siren pass. Bailey, righty shot, saved by Massey. Puck still alive. And it's taken by Sean Kennedy. Kennedy races towards center ice. He gets spun around by Bailey. Kennedy played with the Birmingham Bulls this season where he was a teammate with the Tahoe starting goaltender today, Jacob Musatelli. Musatelli mysteriously disappeared from the game after Gansky scored in the first period, according to the ECHL box score. And Paperny's now in net for Tahoe. Grizzlies left wing shot saved by Paperny as the puck goes back towards the far corner. Gillette gets dragged down. No call on the play. Looked like a clear takedown. Gillette gets back to his feet. Referee really is letting him play this weekend. Not many penalties called on either side. Grizzlies get it to Genev, left wing, lefty shot. And that one goes wide. Not sure if Paperny got a piece of it off his left shoulder. As Grizzlies right wing, get it to Genev. He's in the right circle. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Paperny. Rebound. Genev didn't get much of a second look as he skated too far towards Paperny to get much of a shooting angle. As Merritt crosses center ice, and he'll plop one towards the right corner. The puck saucers towards the wall. As taken as Blake Wells, who shields Utah from the puck, and that was Robbie Stucker. Those two were teammates at the end of the 2023-24 season with Utah. As Jack Ricketts out towards center ice, Nil saucer it in. As Night Monsters chase after it. But they called icing on Utah. Kind of a tough one there, as they say that Ricketts did not get to center ice. And Aiden Hansen-Buchan is pointing towards the center red line, saying that Ricketts had gained the line. But it's not a draw in the Grizzlies zone. It is at neutral ice, as if the Grizzlies were offside. Or if the Night Monsters were offside. Not really sure, but the puck is on the far dot, just outside the Utah blue line. Grizzlies win the draw. Pass gets picked off. Tahoe will drop it for Trent Zwick, who moves to the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, saved by Bassey, and he holds on as Trent Zwick found a cutting Gustafson. Gustafson had all of a one-timer, and Bassey was able to hold on and not allow a rebound. Good performance so far from Dominic Bassey, who's been a little bit more busy in this second period. Kind of interesting. It'll be fun to see Bassey on the Maverick center ice. A tall goaltender, and with tall goaltenders, sometimes, you have to be a little bit more fine with how you play, because obviously you're talking about a lot of knees and elbows, and you have to, tough to be compact with a 6'6" frame. Grizzlies win the draw. As Grizzlies get pinned towards the boards, Lebster gets towards Colby Enns, who surveys the scene. Now he slides one across towards Lebster. Lebster moves it ahead along the right wing. It's all the way down. No icing on the play, though, as Gustafson gets the puck. Former third-round pick of Vegas in 2022. He strides along the right wing with good speed. Gustafson stops on a dime, reverses. Now he feeds to the right goal line as the Night Monsters fire a sharp-angled shot, hits the outside of the cage. Now the puck behind Utah's net. Pugliani will move it across as Algier, left wing, lefty shot, saved by Bassey, and he holds on with exactly 3 minutes left in the second period. So both teams will switch up skaters, but you can't say either team's got a fresh five-man unit on the ice. Nobody's really fresh at this point. It is the third game in 3 days for both teams, although the Grizzlies are shorthanded with 14 skaters this evening. There have been instances where the Grizzlies were playing a 3-on-3, but because they had travel in between or were facing a different opponent, the opposition would be only in the second game of a back-to-back, which doesn't seem to be all that fair, considering how great the effort is for all these players, these finely tuned athletes, game in and game out. So Connors will crouch down and take the draw against O'Leary. A face-off won by Utah. It feels like the Grizzlies won their fair share of face-offs tonight. Grizzlies out towards center ice. They try to drop it for Gansky. He was nearby, number 21, Adam Pitters. Now the Night Monsters out to center ice, and they will plop one towards the far circle. Salem will slide it back towards neutral ice. And now Algier from center ice will lift it over Bassey's head, which is tough to do with his 6'6" frame. It's over to the right corner deep in the Grizzlies zone. Bassey looking over his left shoulder. Connors delivers a push on a Night Monster. Grizzlies come out with a puck. 1-on-3. Grizzlies cross center. Now they dump it in. Accelerating towards the puck is Barbashev. He closes the gap as he belts Algier over the near corner. As Michael Leary gets the puck, he'll slide one across towards Algier off his stick. As Algier regathers it, and he will fly it out towards the Grizzlies zone. Now the Grizzlies dump it all the way back down ice as Ricketts gets pushed by number 86, Craig McCabe. Now Gillette gets some lumber on the side from Casey Bailey. Bailey's been a pro for over a decade. Grizzlies trying to break free. Genev slides one up top, but it's taken away by Tahoe. 2-on-2, Luke Adam over the offensive line, the 16th-year pro, 35 years old, as he'll throw it cross ice as ricochets off the boards. Grizzlies get it back in their own zone. Hanson Buchanan across towards Stucker, and Stucker will slice one towards the Tahoe line, where it's taken by Genev onside. Danny Genev, the first-year pro out of Penn State, Brooklyn native, throws it up top off of Adam's skate. Now Tahoe will throw it towards the Night Monsters bench. It was overled for Luke Adam. Now the puck back towards New Trice. It's taken back by Samuel Mayer, who's got 2 points tonight. Mayer drops to the right side. Now back to Mayer in the right corner. Sharp angled shot that goes wide. As he was looking for somebody to redirect it in front of the crease. Webster over the offense line, 2-on-2. As he dangles back and forth. And he fires the righty shot. Glove saved by Paperny, who slid towards his left. Boy, it was a quick shot from Webster with a quick shot release and not much of a follow-through. And Paperny was able to move towards his left and capture the puck. As there's 1:05 left in the second period, Utah will have an offensive zone draw. Unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, Jordan Paperny's put together a goaltending clinic. Nothing against the other goalie, but you'd almost rather he was in there based on how Paperny's looked so far. Paperny has been a pro since the start of the 2020-21 season, where he appeared in one game with Florida. His first real full year we saw plenty of action was with Savannah in the 2022-23 season. As Grizzlies have the puck crossing center ice, as Friesen gets around Kapchek, he'll dump it off the Tahoe backboards and get it back. Friesen centers it. Anson Buchanan, backhand shot goes wide as he missed the net glove sign on Paperny. 30 seconds left in the period. Left wing, righty shot saved by Paperny, and it bobbled off him, and he's able to regather it in front of the crease. He holds on casually with 28.2 seconds left in the second period. So Grizzlies are getting their chances. They've had quite a few chances here in the second half of the second period. But Jordan Paperny has done a good job for the Night Monsters. Looking forward to seeing some home games at Maverick Center this upcoming weekend. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be home on Friday, January 16th as they take on the Kansas City Mavericks. Certainly a big series for the Grizzlies in the Mountain Division standings, trying to climb back from 7th place. Right now they're 12 points behind Allen for the 4th spot. And obviously it's important to be in the top 4 in the division as top 4 reach the playoffs. 20 seconds left in the period. Tahoe will saucer it ahead. It's taken away by Kennedy. Kennedy to the middle of the ice for Barbashev, but it bounced off his skate. Now Barbashev gets it back, tried to throw it towards the net, and it didn't get very far as he didn't have much of his balance. Now the Night Monsters skied in. 3 seconds left in the period, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at Tahoe Blue Event Center as Hanson Buchanan does a couple circles around Dominic Bassey. Utah had a 1-0 lead after one as Noah Gansky scored 8:47 in. Tahoe got second period goals from Samuel Mayer and Luke Adam, and both teams will head to the locker room. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 25-16, but it's Tahoe that has a 2-1 lead. We'll come back and recap what's happened so far tonight. We'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports, including a check on that Utah Mammoth game as they are hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's Tahoe 2, Utah 1. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Dash, official mobile auction platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Second intermission, Tahoe leads Utah 2-1 as they're hanging out at Tahoe Blue Event Center, and we're at the Professional Green Studios inside a dark and empty Maverick Center. And if you're in the West Valley area tomorrow, come on down and enjoy the Best of Utah Gymnastics meet, as there's 4 local college gymnastics programs that are going to be on the Maverick Center. I wouldn't say ice, but they're not going to be on the ice. They're going to be over the ice, and it should be fun. Some fun gymnastics action tomorrow at Maverick Center. Obviously, we got nothing else to do. That should be a ton of fun tomorrow night. Grizzlies got on the board 8:43 into the first period as Noah Gansky fired away from the right wing, and it found its way past starting goaltender Jacob Musatelli for Tahoe. He was making his Night Monsters debut. He just signed with Tahoe recently, as he was supposed to give Jordan Paperny a day off, and Gansky scored with Hanson Bukata and Lepster getting the assist. Now, remember, there was a little bit of a delay after the Utah goal. We're not sure if Musatelli hurt himself or whatever the case may be, but according to the ECHL box score, Musatelli was pulled after the Gansky goal. He saved 10 of 11 in the first 8:43 of the first period, which kind of tells a little bit of the story. The Grizzlies were able to get 11 shots in the first 8.5 minutes of the first period, and then Paperny entered, and he stopped all 14 cents. Grizzlies outshot Tahoe 15-4 in the first period, and the Grizzlies had a 1-0 lead. Early in the second, Samuel Mayer scored 58 seconds in with Gustafson and Zwick getting the assists. Zwick with an outlet pass, and Tahoe had a 2-on-1. Gustafson was on the right side with Hanson Bukata trailing the play, and Gustafson got a centering pass out in front towards Mayer. Grizzlies, I wouldn't say they challenged the play, but they asked for a video review. The review took quite a bit of time, and after the review, a referee had an explanation for Noah Gansky as the goal counted, and that tied it up 58 seconds in. And then the Night Monsters took a 2-1 lead as Samuel Mayer fired away from the right point, and it was redirected by Luke Adam, who was stationed in front of the crease. Adam goes 6'2", 207 pounds, but he looks a little bit taller than that. He gets his 9th goal of the season. He's a 16th-year pro. He is Tahoe's captain, as Mayer and Nate Callan each picked up the assist, and that was 6:33 into the second period. Tahoe outshot Utah 12-10 in the second period, but the Grizzlies maintain a 25-16 edge in the shot count. Tyler Gratton leads the Grizzlies with 6 shots. Friesen, Connors, and Genev each have 3 shots. 2 shots each for Hanson Bukata as well as Gansky and Lepster, and a handful of other Grizzlies with 1 shot through 2 periods. Well, Utah had plenty of good looks in the second period. They had some odd man advantages. Genev, Gillette had some looks in the second period. Riley Connors had 1 or 2 good looks in front of the crease, and Lepster on a backhand attempt. But all of them were denied by Jordan Paperny. He has put on a goaltending clinic, and he stopped 51 of 53, and the Grizzlies had good chances in that game as well. Kind of the game plan always seems to be when you're facing a good goaltender, you get some action out in front of the net, see if you can get some redirections. Maybe you can get some shots from outside that he doesn't have any sort of vision on, and just keep attacking the net and maybe find some success that way. Utah's looking to salvage the third game of this series. They lost 6-3 on Friday and 6-2 on Saturday night. Referee Emil Sharon, he's going to let them play for the most part. We've only had 1 power play in the game, as Trent Zwick got a tripping minor 51 seconds into the first period. Utah might have had 1 or 2 shots on that power play. Otherwise, there haven't been any penalties. And interestingly enough, for the Grizzlies, they've only had 1 penalty kill so far in this series. And that's certainly a good thing, considering Tahoe's power play is second in the league at 23.9%. Grizzlies didn't have a single penalty called on them that resulted in a power play. There was a situation, there was 2 minutes worth of a 4-on-4 play, but the Grizzlies have only had one abbreviated penalty kill in this entire series. So Utah is doing a good job of staying out of the penalty box. There was a fight 9:05 into the first period with Luke Salem and Tahoe's Trent Swick. So we'll see what happens in the third. Grizzlies are certainly looking for a comeback attempt. They're going to be going up against a good goaltender, Jordan Paperny, but you got to imagine he's a little bit fatigued as he has appeared in all three games in this series. Grizzly goaltender Dominic Bassey was a little bit more busy in the second period. He has saved 14 of 16. Don't forget, this is the last of a three-game set. The Grizzlies will be at home taking on Tahoe Had's Kansas City Mavericks. Next Grizzlies broadcast will be on Friday night. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. In fact, Friday and Saturday will be 7:10 face-offs. And Sunday, January 18th, the day before the All-Star game, that is going to be a 3:10 start. Don't forget the League All-Star game will be on January 19th. That's going to be a Monday. It's the same night as the national championship game for college football. Danny Genev will be representing the Grizzlies in the All-Star Classic as the collection of All-Stars will take on the Allen Americans. Other action in this league, many games have gone final. Kalamazoo defeats Iowa 4-3. In overtime, Reading gets a 4-3 victory over Maine. Allen, in a wild showdown, defeated Wichita 7-6. A game winner was scored by Brad Morrison, 7:32 into the third. Florida gets a 5-3 victory over Worcester. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts had 2 assists for Florida. And Will Cranley gets the victory in net. The former Grizzly stopped 17 of 20. Craig Armstrong was with the Grizzlies last season, scored 2 goals for Wheeling as they defeat Vinny Duplessis and the Trois Rivières Lions 4-2. Duplessis was a Grizzly goaltender last year. He saved 24 of 27 for the Lions in the loss. Toledo defeats Fort Wayne 3-1. Brandon Hawkins had 2 goals for Toledo, and that made the difference in the game. After 2 periods, Indy leads Rapid City 2-1. Indy has taken 43 shots in the first 2 periods. They had 25 shots in the first period and another 18 in the second. Joyce is the lone Rapid City goal. Grizzlies have yet to face Rapid City yet this season, but the Grizzlies will face them a couple weeks from now over at the Monument for a 3-game series. Friday, January 23rd and the 24th of January will be 7 o'clock starts. Sunday, January 25th will be at 4 p.m. That's the action across the league. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll go over the NHL scores and also check in on the NFL playoffs. After 2 periods, Tahoe leads Utah 2-1. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
After 2 periods, Tahoe leads Utah 2-1. After 1 period over at Delta Center, Blue Jackets and Mammoth are tied at 1. Pythia scored his first of the year for Columbus, 2:47 in. Jack McBain got Utah on the board, 16:20 into the first period with Clayton Keller and Nick DeSimone getting the assists. Columbus has outshot Utah 11-7. Vitek Vanacek is getting the start in net for Utah, and he has saved 10 of 11. So that's an interesting one going on at Delta Center. Mammoth have played good hockey as of late. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games. And they are tied at 1 after 1 period, Mammoth and Blue Jackets, as the Mammoth continue with a long homestand. I think this is game 3 of 7 straight over at Delta Center. On Tuesday, The Toronto Maple Leafs will be in the Salt Lake Valley. That should be an 8 o'clock start and should be a ton of fun as Toronto will be in town for the second time all time. It's a lot kind of fun news earlier this week in the Salt Lake Valley that the 2027 Winter Classic will be over at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Kind of wish the Grizzlies would be around another year to be able to maybe play in one of those outdoor games over at Rice-Eccles Stadium. I know that would be a ton of fun. We always had a little bit of fun over the years talking about a potential Grizzlies outdoor game, and it's a shame. We maybe just last game of the Grizzlies will ever have just kind of take off the roof at Maverick Center and play that one outdoors. But nevertheless, that should be a ton of fun. Who would have thought 4 years ago, 3 years ago, or even 2 years ago that the Winter Classic would somehow be in the state of Utah. So that's certainly a fun thing to think about. And I know you got to get, who knows if you even get tickets to this thing. Tickets will be outrageous in terms of prices, and the availability and the demand for tickets for the Winter Classic are going to be through the roof. And that should be an exciting time. And really, it was exciting news to see earlier this week that the Winter Classic is going to be in the Salt Lake Valley as the Mammoth will take on the Colorado Avalanche. Other action across the National Hockey League. There's one game in progress. After one period, Capitals and Capitals and Predators are tied at 1. Two future Hall of Famers with goals. Steven Stamkos scored 13-15 into the first, but before that, Alex Ovechkin scored a power play goal, 5:56 in. I didn't get to see the highlight of the goal, but maybe it was a one-timer from the left circle. So two legends with goals in that game in the first period, Ovechkin for the Capitals and Stamkos for the Predators, and they are tied at 1 after one period over in Nashville. Getting underway at 6 o'clock, so just a couple minutes from now, Golden Knights will take on the surprising San Jose Sharks. Sharks are 23-18-3 on the year. Vegas is 20-11-2. Vegas has lost 12 games past regulation this season. Finals in the NHL, Jets over the Devils 4-3. And the Bruins get a goal from Victor Arvidsson 11 minutes into the first period. They made it stand. Bruins 1, Penguins 0, which caps off a very interesting weekend for the Bruins, who won 10-2 yesterday on national TV against the New York Rangers. Korpisalo picked up a shutout of 27 saves for the Bruins. Boston 1, Pittsburgh 0. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a third period comeback in them. Let's go over some NFL scores. Earlier today, the Buffalo Bills got a 27-24 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC playoffs. And the NFC, how about this? The Eagles had a 6-point lead going into the fourth quarter, but it's San Francisco on the road getting a 23-19 victory to end the Eagles season. Brock Purdy, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and that should be an interesting one. I don't know much outside of what the score was. And San Francisco gets a road victory over the Eagles. Eagles were probably Super Bowl contenders considering all the past experience they've had in Super Bowls and having playoff success, but it's San Francisco who gets a road victory over Philadelphia 23-19. Later on today, in fact, the game getting underway in about 15 minutes from now, the Chargers are at the New England Patriots in AFC wildcard action. Patriots are 3.5-point favorites. So that's action across the world of sports. When we come back, we'll have third period action over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a comeback in them. Utah has been a very strong third period club this season. They have scored a goal in 14 of their last 15 third periods. And Utah has 23 third period goals in their last 13 games. And Utah is going to need a strong third period like they had on December 21st against Tulsa, where the Grizzlies scored 6 goals. Maybe they don't need 6, but they certainly need something offensively in this third period, as they got to find a way to get something past Tahoe goaltender Jordan Paperny. We'll come back and have third period action as you've been tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Are about set for third period action as both the Night Monsters and Grizzlies are heading on the ice. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a third period comeback in them. We had mentioned the Grizzlies have had success offensively in third periods over the last month. As they show some highlights for watching on Flow Sports of the second period. Dominic Bassey's held on strong. Jack Ricketts had a good look in the second period, denied by the goaltender. They actually went to video replay on that goal that tied it up at 1. Hard to really say what they were reviewing. There wasn't any goaltender interference, but they did take a good long look at it, and they did signal it was a good goal. Maybe there was a thought of a kicking motion there with Samuel Mayer, but nevertheless, that tied it up on Flow. If you're watching on Flow Sports, then Luke Adam redirected a shot later on in the second period. As I mentioned, the Grizzlies had some good looks in the second frame, but just were denied over and over again by Jordan Paperny. So you wonder if the Grizzlies may think about slowing things down just a little bit, see if they can set plays up and maybe get some action out in front of the net or anything like that to try to find a way to tie this game. You almost have a feeling that the next goal is going to be critical, whether it's going to be a Grizzly goal or a Night Monster goal, because if Tahoe takes a 2-goal lead, considering they've got a full deck of skaters and the Grizzlies are only rolling with 14, but if the Grizzlies can find a way to get the first goal of the third period, tie it up, it could end up going, either way. And, the Grizzlies probably have an advantage at that point. So almost have that feeling that whoever scores the next goal is going to have a huge advantage here for the rest of this game. Utah will start the third period with Gratton, Friesen, and Lepster. And up top is Noah Gansky and Robbie Stucker. Friesen will take the draw against Casey Bailey, the former Maple Leaf and Ottawa Senator. As draw one by Utah, as Grizzlies are skating from right to left as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. Tahoe skating from left to right. Stucker will slice one ahead, north-south pass past Friesen as Gratton over in the right corner collides with Kalen Taylor. And the puck's reversed back behind Tahoe's net. Jordan Paperny's in there. He replaced Jacob Musatelli, and apparently he replaced him after the Gansky first period goal. Gansky gets spun around. McGrew feeds one out in front. It's knifed away by Gratton. Puck back towards the right corner. Gansky ahead towards Gratton. As we played 40 seconds of this third period, Gratton, right wing feed towards Lepster. It was overled for him. No icing on the plays. The Grizzlies were able to switch up forwards as Lepster will skate to the bench as Danny Genev's out there with Gillette and Ricketts. As the Night Monsters will sky one towards the right corner. Now Tahoe over to the left corner as Gustafson gets taken down by Colby Enns. No call by the referee, as referee has let them play for the most part. There's only one ref this weekend, and it's Emil Sharon. Turnover, right side. Lefty shot by Zwick goes wide. Now right side. Righty shot saved by Bassey, as that shot was taken by Devin Poliani. He's got 17 goals on the season. So a good start to the third period for Dominic Bassey, the former Chicago Blackhawks draft pick. Bassey played in one game in the SPHL with Pensacola on New Year's Eve before signing with the Grizzlies. As linesman Will Anderson will drop the puck. It's interesting, in the second period, it was Austin Bove dropping the pucks, and it looks like Anderson's doing so. Anderson with number 92 on the back of his officiating jersey. As Ricketts out there with Mike O'Leary. Ricketts crouching down low, the first-year pro with an AHL contract with Tucson. Draw one by Utah's ends off his stick. Now the Night Monsters get it back towards Jake Derflinger as he'll backhand it towards Pitters. Pitters gets hit in the back. Derflinger over to the left circle for O'Leary, who couldn't handle it. And the Grizzlies over to Genev off his stick as it slides towards the Grizzlies bench. as O'Leary collects the puck, and he will drag one off the near wing boards. Derflinger out towards the right side. Mayer, lefty shot. That's kicked away by the pads of Dominic Bassey, as Grizzlies will bounce it out to center ice. Utah gets to Genev, left right side. He'll move it towards the left right corner. As Ricketts, he'll take a lefty shot, and that's saved by Paperny as it deflects out of play. 18-12s left in the third. As Drow's going to be an offensive zone one in the right circle. As the Grizzlies and Night Monsters both make a line change. Third of 9 regular season meetings between the clubs. These teams will meet 6 times in the month of February. 3-game set over in Tahoe, February 4th, 6th, and 7th. And then the Night Monsters make their final trip to Maverick Center on February 25th, 27th, and 28th. That's a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Grizzlies won the draw, stuck a right side shot, saved by Paperny, and he holds on. Interestingly enough, the Grizzlies have scored from that right side a few times in this series. That's where Colbiens scored last night. And on that same area of the ice, that's where Gansky scored 8:47 into the first this evening. Connors will take the draw in the right circle against Blake Wells. As draw won by Tahoe, as Night Monsters will fly it all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. And no icing on the play. Salem rolls along the boards as Wells skates towards the corner. He's cut off by Connors. As Utah will move it towards their bench area. Utah still in the attack zone. Salem tries to battle with the puck, and Merritt now taking it is Riley Connors. He's deep in his own zone. He'll drop it back for Salem at the near goal line. Salem outlets it towards neutral ice near the Grizzlies bench for Kennedy. The bench area is on the near side as we see it. Kennedy got a stick up, and I think it's going to be a high sticking penalty, as looked like Merritt kind of lunged his face as if he were hit with a high stick. Kennedy can't believe it, but he's going to the penalty box. So it's going to be a power play for Tahoe. It's their first power play tonight. They have not had a full 2-minute power play so far in this series. So the only question is it 2 minutes or is it 4? It looks like a 2-minute penalty. And Tahoe, they've got the second best power play in the league at 23.9%. Grizzlies' penalty kill is 81 for 100 this season, so an even 81%. Enns will take the draw against O'Leary. First faceoff that Enns is taken, it's won by Tahoe. As they'll move it back towards the left circle, Enns holds up O'Leary's stick. Gansky gets it, and he'll slice it all the way deep towards the Tahoe zone along the far wing boards. Paperny cuts it off behind his net. As the Night Monsters will race out to center ice, Kapchek's got good speed. He'll drop it back towards the Tahoe blue line. As Casey Bailey walks down Broadway, splits a double team. He'll throw the puck towards the right corner and chase after it. Bailey trying to sweep one towards the near side, fanned on it a little bit, and the Grizzlies will bounce one towards Paperny. Paperny collects the puck in front of the crease. So get it towards Kapchek. 3 minutes into the third period. Night Monsters dropping off as O'Leary gets towards Bailey. Bailey moves to his right as McGrew gets the puck, and he'll move it around the boards towards the left point. Adam drops it for Kapchek in the high slot over towards McGrew. McGrew feeds it to the right goal line. Dangling back and forth is Mike O'Leary, who's got 7 goals this season. He stops in the right point, throws it back to a spot he vacated. Tahoe trying to center. It's picked off, and the Grizzlies will backhand it out. As Night Monsters will switch up skaters, and the Grizzlies will hit the reset button as well. As about 47 seconds left in the power play. Tahoe will drop it off as they cross center ice. Pugliani moves to his left. Now the Night Monsters get back to Pugliani. High slot. Righty shot goes over Bassey's head, and it flies out of play. As there's 16-13 left in the third. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone as there's 39 seconds left in the power play. Looks like the fans are having a good time. A very good Sunday afternoon crowd. Got to be more than 3,000 over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. We mentioned during the intermission how the Grizzlies have had some offensive success in the third period. They have a third period goal in 14 of their last 15 games. Tahoe wins the draw as they throw a soft pass to Gustafson. It's picked up by Gansky. Grizzlies have scored 4 shorthanded goals this season. Gansky gets it from Gratton. Now Gansky whips the puck around the boards. Puck bounces towards the left corner as the Grizzly gets some lumber in the side. Gratton tries to join the play. It's taken back by Tahoe. Webster's got 2 shorthanded goals this year. He's out there with Gratton As Tahoe out to neutral ice, they'll drop it off as the Night Monsters cross the center red line. McGrew over the offensive blue will drop it back to the high slot. Now Mayer, 5 seconds left in the power play, gets towards Gustafson, back to the middle of the ice. As it's lunged from Callan over to the left side. Lefty shot, rebound shot, saved by Bassey, and he holds on. Well, the second shot was taken by Brendan Kapchek, and Bassey made a good stop at the very end of the Tahoe power play. As out of the box is Kennedy, and we're skating 5-on-5. Tahoe will have an offensive zone draw in the far circle, but the Grizzlies are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill here tonight. So it's 2-1 Tahoe. As we played about 4.5 minutes of the third period. Grizzlies up to 26 shots. Tahoe's taken 18. As Jack Ricketts talking with Danny Genev, as well as Colby Enns. John Gillette on the ice as well. Ricketts has taken quite a few faceoffs along with Riley Connors this afternoon. Draw one by Tahoe. As they'll bounce one towards the near wing boards. Colby Enns in the corner. Pitters closes the gap and hits him in the side. Now the puck goes to Danny Genev, who strides along the left wing. Genev over the offensive line, slowed down just a little bit, getting towards the Tahoe line. Dumps it in. Gillette delivers a hit on Taylor. Taylor loses his balance. He gets it back. Now Taylor out to neutral ice. Diagonal dump in towards the left side towards Pitters. Pitters will backhand it deeper into the Grizzlies zone. It's taken by Hanson Bukata. He'll get it ahead left wing as the Grizzly was diving, looking to try to get a piece of the puck, but it goes back towards the Tahoe line. Now the Night Monsters re-enter as O'Leary tries to jump around a Grizzly. Colby Enns in the area along with Ricketts. 2-on-2 scrum. And now the puck goes towards Genev, who feeds it back to Noah Gansky. Gansky gets to Barbashev in the left wing. Barbashev tried to bounce one towards Gansky, and it goes all the way towards Paperny, and Paperny covers it up in front of the crease. He stops play with 14:38 left in the third. So Grizzlies with another offensive zone draw. With all these opportunities the Grizzlies have had, you'd love to see them capitalize here just one time. Just find a way to get the tying goal. If you're looking at the structure of Tahoe Blue Event Center, it looks like a pretty similar building to what they have in Kansas City and Allen and even Idaho Falls, that building that holds the Spud Kings. Grizzlies won the draw. Salem with a shot that's blocked. Salem's got an assist in 2 straight games. As Blake Wells dangling back and forth, gets new tries, trying to split a double team. Connors tapped it away from him. Now another Night Monster from the left wing gets it new tries. He'll dump it in. Massey will flip it towards the near corner. As Salem looking for the loose puck. Now it goes back around the boards. As Stucker gets the puck in a slide one angle right. Now the Night Monsters challenge it. Salem moves out to center ice. Grizzlies get it ahead towards Kennedy. Between his legs to Salem. Salem down the middle. Lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. And the goaltender holds on. Mayer knocks down Salem after the whistle. So the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. 14:04 is the time remaining in the third period. As Luke Salem, he had been sporting a mustache at the start of the year. Now Salem has a full beard. As both teams will switch up skaters. You can really tell fatigue is settling in on both sides. As the third game in 3 days for both teams. Friesen will take the draw for Utah. It's really been Connors, Friesen, and Ricketts taking most of the faceoffs for the Grizz. Casey Bailey will take the draw for Tahoe. Faceoff won by the Night Monsters. As they'll wheel it around their net. Now they reverse it back towards the left side as Gratton gets some lumber in the back from Mayer. Mayer spins Gratton around, who trying to get up top. Luke Adam anticipated it. It goes past him. Now towards right wing. McGrew skates in. Shot saved by Bassey. Runs into Bassey. Grizzlies clear it out. Good defensive play by Utah. Gratton toe drag, left point. Shot didn't get much on it as he had Kapchek in front of him. Night Monsters back the other way. Bailey will move to his left. Now the Night Monsters find Taylor. Taylor backhanded it behind his back in front of the crease, and it was behind Bailey. Now Bailey gets in the right corner, throws to the right circle. It's picked off by Gansky. Gansky will shovel it ahead. It goes back towards Tahoe. As Night Monsters skate from left to right in the third period. Grizz from left to right. Shot from the left wing, bounces off of Stucker's stick. Now the puck back towards the right wing. Genev gets it. He gets back checked by Taylor. And Genev strong with it. Gets around, gets past Taylor. And now Taylor gets the puck as Genev lost it, skating into the Tahoe zone. Left wing, Tahoe skates in. Lefty shot saved by Bassey. As that shot was taken by Gustafson, the 21-year-old former Golden Knights draft pick. Salem out to center ice off the glass of Genev. He gets to the middle of the ice for Ricketts. Ricketts trying to split a double team, and Algier took it away from him. Tahoe out to center ice, trying to play soccer on the puck, but Gustafson couldn't get a piece of it. Night Monsters out to center ice, get around Gillette. Now down the middle of the ice. Swick will take a lefty shot, and then was blocked away by Bassey. And the puck is cleared back to center ice, where it's taken back by Samuel Mayer, who just recently got sent back to the Night Monsters from the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights. As Bassey plays behind his net, drops it for Hans Bukata. As Grizzlies out to center ice. Utah down the middle. Now they veer off to the left. Riley Connor skates towards the left circle. Trying to move one out in front of the net. Nobody was cutting towards the crease. And Paperny covers up. 12-10s left in the third. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw on the other side. Still looking for the tying goal as Tahoe leads 2-1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
It's Utah trailing 2-1. It's the last of a 3-game series over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Grizzlies are up to 29 shots. Tahoe has taken 19. Noah Gansky got Utah on the board, 8:47 in. Tahoe scored 2 second-period goals. As Samuel Mayer, 58 seconds in, and about 6.5 minutes into the second period, it was Luke Adam redirecting a Nate Cowan shot. Actually, it was a Mayer shot that was redirected by Adam, and that made it a 2-1 game, and that's where we sit. Grizzlies win the draw. As they're in the offensive zones, Barbashev drops it for Hanson Bukata. It gets pushed by Kapchek. Puck goes back to center ice. Hanson Bukata moves it across to Stucker. Stucker enters from the right wing looking for a cutting Barbashev. Barbashev gets cut off on a good defensive play by Tahoe. As the Night Monsters enter from the left wing. As O'Leary trying to get to the corner off the wall as Stucker. Bounce went off a Night Monster. Puck flips into the air. Now the Night Monsters get to the right corner. Derflinger looking for a centering pass. He tried to get towards O'Leary, but he was occupied by Stucker. As a 3-on-2 scrum of 3 Grizzlies holding up behind Bassey's net. As Hanson Bukata head towards Barbashev, 2-on-2. Barbashev crosses center ice, accelerates, getting around Taylor on the right side. Now Barbashev stops before he gets to the right corner of the Night Monster zone. Across off the wall to Salem. He'll feed it towards Gratton. Gratton centers it, looking for a freeze, and it goes over his stick. Now right wing, righty shot misses wide. Webster over in the left point gets it. He'll move it across. High slot. Gansky dances around, skates towards the left circle, fires into traffic, gets blocked. Gansky out in front of the net. Shot, a score! Evan Friesen ties it up. Boy, Gansky kind of swung and missed from the left side, then centered it to Friesen, and Evan Friesen put it away. And so just like that, it's a 2-2 game with 11:07 left in the third. Well, you knew with all the pressure the Grizzlies were putting on offensively that eventually they were going to find the back of the net. As Gansky with a pretty good shift, he had a couple looks and then eventually had it from the left side, kind of swung and missed a little bit, then got the puck back, found Friesen down the middle of the ice. So just like that, we're tied at 2. Grizzlies win the face-off. They're looking for a little bit of momentum after the goal. As Gillette gets to center ice, no backhanded in. Ricketts in the area as he collides with the Night Monster, and that's McCabe. Now the puck goes back to Utah on the right side. They look to center it to Genev, and Tahoe was able to get a stick in the way. McGrew will sweep one towards his right. Crossing center ice is Kapchek, and he will move it in. So puck got some air under it. It was played with a high stick, apparently. And so that stops play with 10:45 left in the third. So draw is going to be in the Grizzly zone in the near circle. So let's even check as to who got the assist. I think Gansky should obviously get one of the assists on the Friesen goal, as they haven't updated it yet on the ECHL box score. So it's a 2-2 tie, and the Grizzlies now have a third period goal in 15 of their last 16 games. Friesen with the goal, 8:54 in with Gansky and Lepster getting the assist. So Lepster now has 2 assists tonight. Grizzlies win the draw. They get out towards center ice. As the Night Monsters push it back to the Utah line. Now Grizzlies take it away. Genev races towards the right wing as he avoids a check of Mayer. Gillette over in the corner gets bounced to the wall. Genev, sharp angled shot, centering pass to Ricketts. Shot saved by Paperny. Oh, a beautiful pass by Genev, and Ricketts had a good look, but Paperny denied him. Puck to the right side, and Tahoe's Nate Callan gets the puck. And we'll move it to the right wing as it ricochets off the boards. Grizzlies chase after it, and icing's on Tahoe with 10-12 left in the third. So a 2-assist game from Reed Lepster. That's his 5th multiple-point game this season. Noah Gansky with a multiple-point game. He now has 1 goal and 1 assist. And that is Gansky's 2nd multiple-point game this season. And for Evan Friesen, he now has a point in 8 of his last 11 games as he picked up the goal on the centering feed from Gansky, 8:54 in. Riley Connors will take the draw against Casey Bailey. As it looks like that goal kind of generated a little bit of energy for the Grizzlies side. Utah's rolling with 14 skaters tonight. Tahoe will sky it out to center ice. It's taken by Hanson Bucata at the Utah line. Grizzlies skate from right to left. It ricocheted off the stick at neutral ice and plops into the Tahoe zone. Kennedy shadows Taylor. As Kennedy, a recent addition for the Grizzlies, wearing number 17. Now behind the net, Riley Connors will skate towards his left. Now he skates towards the left point. Now he moves to his right. High slot, righty shot. And that one gets ricocheted. The puck in front of the crease. And the Night Monsters clear it towards the left wing boards. It stays in the Night Monsters zone. Barbashev between the legs looking for Connors. And a Tahoe defenseman got a stick in the way, so Connors couldn't get much of a shot off. Now the puck's still in the Tahoe zone. Night Monsters slow it down. Grizzlies will fit in a few new forwards. Lepster and Gratton on the ice, along with Evan Friesen. As Night Monsters will roll it along the boards. Friesen in the right corner. As Lepster in the area. As those two battle with a couple Night Monsters. Hanson Bucata joins the play. Hanson Bucata nudged Gustafson with the puck. Now the puck slides towards the right corner. Stucker gets it. He gets back checked by Gustafson. As Stucker will bounce one towards center ice. He was looking for Friesen. Now the Night Monsters will guide it back in. Bassey behind his net cuts it off. He'll slide it towards Hanson Bucata. It rolls along the boards towards Lepster. Now the puck kicks to the middle of the ice off of Gustafson's skate. As Gratton gets the puck, he'll slide it towards Lepster. And Lepster kind of holds on with a Night Monster just outside the Tahoe line. Now at center ice, Colby Enns will move it across. Gansky crosses center ice with long strides, stepping over the offensive line. Right side, shot, kick, save off the right pad of Paperny. Now Enns back around the boards towards the right wing. It's taken over by Ricketts, who danced around. Algier trying to shadow him as Ricketts feeds it up top. Now the Grizzlies move it towards Genea, back towards the right wing. Ricketts take a lefty shot. And glove saved by Paperny. As it looked like Ricketts trying to go glove side, and Paperny moved towards his left to make the stop. Grizzlies tied up with Evan Friesen getting the goal, his 8th of the year, with Gansky and Lepster gained the assists. We're tied at 2. We got a good one over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Looks like we got an entertaining game over at Tahoe Blue Event Center as we're tied at 2 with 8 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third period. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 33-21. Utah has an 8-5 advantage in the shot count here in the third period. Attendance over at Tahoe Blue Event Center is 3,978, 3,978 over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, a building that holds just about 4,300 for hockey. As Ricketts will take the draw against Kevin O'Leary. Mike O'Leary. There was a Kevin O'Leary somewhere. Is that the guy from Shark Tank? Grizzlies win the draw. Gillette skates along the right goal line. Fires lefty shot saved by Paperny. He holds on. And after the whistle, Samuel Mara and Jack Ricketts get a little bit frustrated with each other. So it's going to be another offensive zone draw for Utah. 8:14 left in the third. As Ricketts once again will take the faceoff against O'Leary. Last of 9 straight road games for the Grizzlies. As by the time we hit Friday against Kansas City, it'll be 34 days between home games, which is just crazy. Wasn't how the schedule was originally put, but due to the player strike, Grizzlies missed the 2-game homestand against Idaho. As Utah will move it across to Genev, it was overled for him. Genev skates towards left side, lefty shot, and that's blocked away. As I think it was blocked before it got towards Paperny. Now Genev, less than 8 minutes left in regulation. He'll get to the left circle. Ricketts fires lefty shot, save off of Paperny's chest. Night Monsters come back the other way. Right wing towards Derflinger. He looked to center to bounce off of Stucker. As the puck goes back towards the right corner. As Ricketts holds his ground. Gillette joins the play. 3 Grizzlies, 2 Night Monsters as they scrum for the puck. As it's over in the near corner of the Grizzlies zone, Utah comes out with it. Ricketts will saucer it ahead. Chasing after it's Kennedy, but getting there on an angle is Kalen Taylor. Taylor, an outstanding skater. As he gets around Kennedy. Now Taylor gets back checked by Kennedy as he ricochets the puck off the far boards, does Taylor. Now to the right wing, Anthony Collins. He'll fire towards the net. It goes wide. That's Anthony Collins, not to be confused with local linesman Andrew Collins. As Kennedy will bounce the head for Connors. He'll skate towards the left circle. Connors trying to get around one Night Monster, and he crashes open the net as he tried to get around Algier. And Connors had the puck off his stick, and then Paperny moved it ahead. And Connors just ricocheted his body off the near post and dislodged the net. So that stops play with 6:57 left in the third. So the question is, where's the faceoff going to be? Is it going to be in the Tahoe zone? Or the Night Monsters getting out to center ice, and it looks like it's going to be a neutral zone draw. So we had talked about before the third period about, how important it was to get the next goal, and the Grizzlies were able to do so. And for Evan Friesen, he had an outstanding month of December. He's looking to add to a pretty strong January. In fact, Friesen now has a .8 of his last 12 games. He was a +6 in 10 games in December. And Evan Friesen was just everywhere, making a strong impact, and this is his first full season as a pro. So Friesen will take the draw against Casey Bailey. That's over in the near dot. Just outside the Tahoe line, as draw won by the Night Monsters. Less than 7 minutes left in the third period, and we got a barn burner over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Diagonal feed angle right is off of Bailey's stick as he was battling with Tyler Gratton. Grizzlies ice the puck as whistle blows with 6:44 left in the third. So action will come back towards Dominic Bassey, who's making his first start since January 2nd. And Bassey so far has saved 19 of 21. So Grizzlies at the forward line of Friesen, Gratton, and Lebster. As Friesen will take the draw. Colby Enns out there for Utah. Enns leads Utah with a +5 rating this season. So Friesen will take the draw in the near circle against Casey Bailey. Bailey is kicked out of the circle. He can't understand why. Bailey has some words for linesman Will Anderson. Now Bailey's able to stay in the faceoff circle. Friesen drops his stick. And the draw won by Tahoe. Luke Adam skates along the right wing, trying to get a bounce one off of Bassey and hit the side of the net. Grizzlies skating from right to left in the period, get a left wing feed out towards Gratton. Gratton with a lefty shot that misses, and didn't get all of it. As Grizzlies towards the right corner, they get to Lebster. Lebster is battling with Bailey. Friesen nearby gives some lumber to the back of Mayer. And now the puck slides from one corner to the other as Gansky off his stick. Now Tahoe regathers it. And they tried to jump it out towards center ice, and puck just stayed in the Tahoe zone as they tried to lift it and didn't get very far. As now Tahoe gets the puck as McGrew will bounce one across. Grizzlies make a line change. There's now less than 6 minutes left in the third period. As dancing around center ice is Casey Bailey. And still dumping in, not to be confused with Casey Myers, the former Salt Lake Bee of 20 years ago. As Gansky had the puck, that was something we mentioned yesterday. As Gansky back behind Utah's net, as he gets back checked, he'll drop it off as Grizzlies will outlet it to center ice angle left. Ricketts over the offensive line, drifts towards his right, now gets to Geneva. We trying to get it back towards Ricketts in front of the net. Ricketts got a stick lifted at exactly the wrong time for the Grizzlies. 5.5 minutes left in the third period as we're tied at 2. Night Monsters ahead as they'll race out to neutralize Gustafson over center ice. Now he veers off to the left, gets around hands to Bukata, but the Night Monsters are offside with 5:17 left in the third. So it's going to be a neutral zone draw when we come back, and we've got a good one. We're tied at 2. Grizzlies with a first period goal from Noah Gansky and a third period goal from Evan Friesen. Reed Lepster's got 2 assists. Noah Gansky has 1 goal and 1 assist. We'll find out how this ends on the other side. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
5 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third period. And during the commercial break, they showed over and over again Trent Zwick throwing a punch at a player 8 inches shorter than him. And that's all they showed during the timeout. Grizzlies won the neutral zone draw. Could be anybody's game as we're tied at 2. A head off of Barbashev's stick. Tahoe replays it as it goes towards the right side. As the Night Monsters down the middle of the ice try to split a double team, but a hand pass was called as the puck ended up towards the waist of Mike O'Leary. So there's now 5:03 left in the third period. So draw comes back towards neutral ice. It's already a multiple-point game for Noah Gansky with 1 goal and 1 assist and 2 assists from Reed Lepster. And goaltender Dominic Bassey's hung in there strong as he has saved 19 of 21. Connors will take the face-off. He's got Sean Kennedy to his left, and to his right is Maxime Barbashev. Michael Leary will take the draw for Tahoe. Grizzlies looking to salvage the third game of the series. They lost 6-3 on Friday and 6-2 on Saturday. Tahoe wins the draw, left wing at center ice, and they'll zip it around the boards as it goes towards Kennedy, who cuts off Derflinger. Now the puck goes up top, right side. Now they reverse it back to the left wing. Lefty shot, and it goes wide as Bassey was moving towards his right after the puck. As Connors behind Utah's net gets the puck, he's wearing number 12. Gets pushed from behind by Derflinger. Now it goes to Salem behind Utah's net. Salem over to Connors. Across to Colby Ends off the wall. Ends outlets into center ice. Got redirected at neutral ice, and the Grizzlies will make a full line change. 4 minutes and 28 seconds on a moving clock here in the third period. And looks like it's been a pretty fun one here so far. Grizzlies looking to end a 4-game losing skid. As Tahoe out to center ice, goes past Gansky out towards the Utah line. Now Gansky recovers it. As he'll get it to head towards Friesen. Friesen crosses center ice. And he'll dump it in. You can tell both teams are giving everything they've got, but 3 games in less than 48 hours. And the Grizzlies rolling with 14 skaters this evening as Bailey skates at neutral ice as Adam entered prematurely. Now Adam tags up and Bailey dumps it in. It didn't get very far as Gansky was able to accept the puck. And the Grizzlies get towards Lepster. Lepster off the far wall. It's accepted by Grattan across to Hanson Bukata. Skates down the middle of the ice all alone. Hanson Bukata, sharp angled shot saved by Paperny. Now the puck slides towards the near wing boards. And you can tell both teams are just about out of gas as they've given everything they could with 3 games in less than 48 hours. And there's a little bit of altitude involved as well. As puck goes up top, Tahoe in the offensive zone across to Callan. 3.5 minutes left in the third period. Now lefty shot that's blocked before it gets to Bassey. And the Grizzlies will ice the puck all the way down ice, almost doing so just to give themselves a couple minutes worth of a breather, or at least a few seconds. And you can tell there's a lot of sticks on knees and on both sides. And both teams And there is altitude in Tahoe. In fact, there is a little bit more. And it's almost like there's enough altitude to where if you're in Colorado and you go from Colorado to Tahoe, it can be something else. And so that's something that both teams have had to adjust with. Obviously, Tahoe trains in it. Now the Night Monsters down the middle of the ice. Righty shot goes wide as Tahoe's elevation is 6,225 feet, which is almost 1,000 feet higher than it's Tahoe. Left wing shot and a score. I don't know how that one got through, but the Night Monster, Samuel Mayer, fired a prayer from the left point, and Mayer's prayer was answered. So Tahoe takes a 3-2 lead late in regulation. It looked like Mayer just beat Bassey. Didn't look like it got redirected. There may have been Pugliani out in front of the net. Not sure if he got a piece of it, though. As Mayer just kind of helicoptered one towards the net, and it found the perfect spot. So Samuel Mayer's had quite the night. If it's his goal, he now has 2 goals and 1 assist. Derflinger taunting the Grizzlies as he puts both palms in the air. So the Grizzlies are going to need another comeback. They were trailing 2-1 heading into the third period. Evan Friesen found the back of the net, 8:54 in. The Night Monsters respond with a goal 16:57 into the third period. They've credited the goal. We'll check. They haven't updated the ECHL box score yet, but it looked like it would be Samuel Mayer. And it is Mayer getting the goal. That's his second of the night and 10th of the season. One of the best defensemen in the league in terms of offensive production. As the Night Monsters have it in the offensive zone. And now the Grizzlies get it. Danny Genev crosses center ice. Tries to get around McCabe. Genev with the puck left wing. Fires it towards Salem. Backhand shot. On it goes just wide across the crease. Tahoe clears it out towards center ice. Salem didn't have a great shooting angle there, but it just fired away and missed. Now Genev down the middle of the ice. Steps over the offensive blue. Stops before he gets to the right corner. Fires towards the net and it gets redirected. As there's some traffic out in front of the net with Ricketts and company. And Tahoe skies it into the Grizzlies zone. Icing is on the Night Monsters. 2:23 is left in the third period. And for John Buchanan, do you pull Dominic Bassey for the extra attacker now, or do you wait to make sure the Grizzlies win the faceoff, or maybe wait till the next whistle? That's something that Buchanan and and Ryan Anderson, the Grizzlies assistant coach, have to think about. As looks like Ricketts, Connors, Lebster on the ice. You're going to see a lot of the big guns if they can. As Grizzlies taking a little bit of time. Hanson Buchanan talking things over. Can't tell if Utah's net is empty, though. As Connors will take the faceoff against Mike O'Leary. Smoke him if you got him. Utah's looking for the tying goal after Samuel Mayer scored with 3:03 left in regulation. There's now 2:23. As O'Leary kind of itching to get the puck dropped. As Austin Bove will drop the puck. He's the linesman. Puck is dropped. And it goes back towards Utah. Now Hanson Buchanan. He'll slide one towards the middle of the ice. It's knifed away by Pitters. Genev gets it off the boards. Right wing feeds it up top. Gansky back towards Genev. And it does look like there's 6 in the offensive zone for Utah. So the net is empty. 2:05 left in regulation. Smoke him if you got him. As Ricketts back towards Genev, who directs it up top. Gansky pedals towards his left. Now back towards Genev. He fires towards the net. It's blocked. Puck goes back to neutral ice. As the Night Monsters get one skater off and one on. Lebster back towards the right corner. He'll roll it along the roulette wheel back to the left side for Connors, who pitched it back in towards Ricketts. Ricketts behind Tahoe's net, bouncing off the skate of a Night Monster, and puck goes back towards the left wing. Buchanan over towards Ricketts, who's played a ton of minutes here this afternoon. Back to Hanson Buchanan, across to the left corner. Grizzly gets hit in the side, and that was Riley Connors. Now Ricketts collides. Tahoe will clear it back into the Grizzlies zone. Utah racing after it. Genev gets the puck. He'll move it towards Hanson Buchanan. The Grizzlies are towards the end of a shift. Taking its Lebster. He'll feed it to his right. Grizzlies over the offense line. Grattan skates towards the right circle. Take a shot and a blocker saved by Paperny. 1:07 left. Tahoe leads 3-2. Genev gets knocked down along the near wing. Hanson Bukata wanted a penalty. Now Genev gets knocked down. Referee's got his right arm raised. So it does look like it's going to be a penalty on Tahoe, as Grizzlies want to confront McGrew, but at the same time, they don't want to pick up a penalty of their own. And so Genev is knocked down. He gets back to his feet, albeit a little bit slowly. Genev says, "I'm fine." And it looks like McGrew's picked up a penalty. Luke Adam has a very puzzled look on his face. There's 1:03 left in the third period. Casey Bailey can't believe it. Bailey's the one that gets the penalty. Bailey says that is fertilizer or something to that effect. So Grizzlies with their net empty will have a 6-on-4 power play. And this next faceoff is going to be about as big as it gets. Grizzlies want to take a little bit of time. Maybe they'll use their timeout, as they probably want to keep the same six that were on the ice, get that six-man unit a little bit of a break. And it looks like a timeout has been called. It's on Utah. We'll keep it here, as they probably want to keep that same six-man unit on the ice for another shift. So timeout, we believe, has been called by Utah, even though we didn't get to see a signal. We believe both teams are talking it over in the bench area. So the Grizzlies are looking for the tying goal. And if you joined us late, Grizzlies played pretty well in the first period, having a 1-0 lead as Noah Gansky scored 8:43 in, with Hanson Bukata and Lebster gained the assists. Tahoe scored 2 unanswered second-period goals. Samuel Mayer, his first of 2 on the night, 58 seconds in. Then Luke Adam redirected a Mayer shot, 6:33 in, to give the Night Monsters a 2-1 lead. 8:54 into the third period, Evan Friesen got his 8th of the year on a centering feed from Noah Gansky, and Reed Lebster also picked up an assist. Gansky's got 1 goal and 1 assist, and Lebster has 2 assists. Samuel Mayer scored what they've called as an unassisted goal, 16:57 in. Mayer has 2 goals and 1 assist tonight, and he's a +2. As the fans in Tahoe are dancing to YMCA. So Grizzlies come out of the Grizzlies on the ice, 6-on-4, nets empty, as Casey Bailey's in the penalty box. Jack Ricketts will take the draw against Mike O'Leary in the left circle. Can the Grizzlies get a power play goal and tie it up? Draw won by Utah. Gratton in the area. He's taken away by Mayer, who should be the number 1 star tonight. Hanson Bukata, the middle of the ice for Genev. He swings and misses. Right wing Gansky skates towards the corner, dangling back and forth. He'll get it back up top towards Genev on the right side. Across to Hanson Bukata. He's in the left wing. He'll fire lefty shot. A save by Paperny. It looked like Ricketts and Gratton were in net front trying to either act as a screen or redirect it, but Paperny was able to catch it cleanly near his right shoulder. He holds on with 44.8 seconds left in the third. So Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw in the left circle. Both teams don't have a ton of energy. Third game in less than 48 hours, with elevation over 6,225 feet. Ricketts will crouch down and take the draw. Can the Grizzlies find a way to get the tying goal? Can they at least find a way to get a couple good scoring chances? Riley Connors back behind Ricketts' right shoulder. Ricketts kind of itching back and forth, wiggling his right knee. As a draw won by, kind of stays at the circle, and the linesman says we'll do it over again. Like a few seconds ago, he said the most important face-off there with 1:03 off the timeout. This has got to be the most important face-off. O'Leary's kicked out of the circle, and Gustafson will now take the draw for Tahoe. As Ricketts crouching down low, so's Gustafson and the linesman. Draw one by Utah. Hanson Bukata, high slot lefty shot, and that one's blocked away by Paperny. Puck goes to the right wing. Connors kicks it with his skate and keeps it in. He'll feed it towards Lebster on the right wing. Back towards Connors. One-timer kick saved by Paperny. Ricketts looking for the rebound, didn't get much of it. And Tahoe will clear it out. It ricochets off the far wing boards towards the empty net, and it goes wide. Tahoe short-handed, so no icing. Hanson Bukata to the right wing. 20 seconds left. Grizzlies cross center ice. Lebster down the middle, and he is onside. He'll flip it towards the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, and that's blocked. Now Rick Gratton down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, and that's blocked as well. 10 seconds left. Grizzlies get towards the right wing. Genev feeds it up top. Now to the left side. One-timer, and that one goes wide. Glove side on Paperny. 2 seconds left. Lebster will bounce off a Night Monster, and time runs out. Boy, the Grizzlies had some chances, but the Night Monsters hold on for a 3-2 victory as they sweep the 3-game series. While the Grizzlies with the power play put together a rally to try to tie it up. They had some good looks. Paperny came up big for the Night Monsters. He won all 3 games in net in this series. As fans throw fake fish and debris on the ice, they've done so in all 3 games of this series. So Utah has now lost 5 in a row as the Night Monsters come away with a 3-2 victory. Utah got a late power play and just couldn't find a way to get the tying goal. Game winner was scored with 3:03 left in regulation by Samuel Mayer. Final score from Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's the Night Monsters 3 and the Grizzlies 2. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From Commercial to Recreational Truck Accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
A tough one for the Grizzlies as neither team had a ton of energy with altitude at 6,225 feet over in Tahoe at State Line, Nevada. Grizzlies put together a pretty good rally to try to tie it up. It was tied at 2 after Evan Friesen scored halfway through the third period. But the Night Monsters just came up with a big goal when they needed it the most with 3:03 left in regulation with Samuel Mayer scoring unassisted. Grizzlies just fell a goal short. 3-2 the finals. The Night Monsters sweep the 3-game series, winning 6-3 on Friday, 6-2 on Saturday, and 3-2 here this evening. Grizzlies got on the board first as Noah Gansky scored 8:43 in. It was his second of the year. Both of his goals this season have been scored on the road on Sunday afternoons from the right wing in the first period, as he did so a couple months ago in November in a Sunday afternoon game at Idaho Central Arena. Aiden Hans-Buchanan picked up his team leading 17th assist of the year, and Reed Webster with his first of 2 assists on the night. Utah led 1-0 after 1 period, and usually that means victory for the Grizzlies this season. They've done a good job protecting leads. Grizzlies were rolling with 14 skaters. Easy for me to say. When leading after 1 period on the road, the Grizzlies were 8-1-2. Now they were 6-1-2. Now they're 8-1. They're 6. We'd probably just start this segment over again. Grizzlies are now 7-2-2 when leading after 1 period this year. And when scoring first, Grizzlies are now 8-2-1 on the road. So Grizzlies, they played a pretty strong first period. They outshot Tahoe 15-3 in the first frame and led 1-0 after 1. They had plenty of good scoring chances. Tahoe's starting goaltender was Jacob Muratelli. Muratelli was making his Tahoe debut, and he stopped 10 of 11. But after the Gansky goal, I'm not sure if there was an injury. There was a little bit of a delay, but we didn't know what it was for. The camera didn't have the presence of mind to kind of pan over and show us that Muratelli was being removed from the game. Had to have been an injury, I would think, as Jordan Paperny replaced him, and Paperny stopped 25 of 26 the rest of the way. So Utah had a 1-0 lead after 1 period. Tahoe responded with 2 unanswered in the second frame as Samuel Mayer scored his 9th of the year with Gustafson and Zwick getting the assist. It was a 2-on-1 where Gustafson centered it towards Mayer, and Mayer found the back of the net. They went to video replay afterwards. My guess is maybe there was a thought of a kicking motion, but the goal stood. And even if there was a kicking motion, Mayer looked like he kind of kept his knee. He didn't extend his knee towards the kick after the puck. So a goal stood 58 seconds into the second period, and it was a 1-1 tie. And then later on in the second period, Mayer fired away from the right wing, and it was redirected by Luke Adam and into the back of the net. Adam, the Tahoe captain, he's in his 16th year as a pro. He's a former NHLer who spent 87 games with Buffalo and 3 games with the Columbus Blue Jackets over a decade ago. Adam scored 6:33 into the second to give Tahoe a 2-1 lead. About halfway through the third period, Grizzlies tied it up as Evan Friesen got his 8th of the year with Noah Gansky and Reed Lebster getting the assists. As Friesen was just out in front of the net, Gansky looked like he swung and missed, then recaptured the puck, centered it to Friesen, and Friesen put it away, as it was his 8th of the year. Time of goal, 8:54 in, as Friesen now has a point in 8 of his last 12 games. Noah Gansky picked up a multiple-point game with 1 goal and 1 assist. It's his second multiple-point game this season. And Reed Lebster got 2 assists tonight as he picked up his 6th multiple-point game of the year. So it looked like there for about 7 or 8 minutes, I was thinking maybe we'd be headed to overtime. We probably would have if not for Samuel Mayer, who just got the puck in the left point, and he just kind of helicoptered one past Bassey. I'm not sure if that puck had a little bit of extra spin in English to it. There was one skater in front of the crease maybe trying to redirect it, but it looked like that Tahoe player didn't have any sort of say in how it went. It just somehow had a mind of its own, did the puck, and ended up helicoptering past Dominic Bassey for what turned out to be the game-winning goal. It was unassisted, 16:57 into the third period. Grizzlies got a late third period power play as Danny Genev got knocked down by Casey Bailey, and Bailey got a boarding minor, 18:57 in. Utah had a couple good looks there on that power play. Tahoe was able to clear the puck once. Utah did win a couple faceoffs there in the final minute, but just couldn't find a way to get the tying goal. As Tahoe ends up with a 3-2 victory, and Jordan Paperny, I think Grizzlies fans would all agree that he is deserving of an American Hockey League call-up based on what he did against Utah. He picked up 3 wins this series as he saved 31 of 34 on Friday night. Last night he saved 51 of 53, and Paperny replaced Musatelli. I'm not sure what happened to Musatelli. They never did. Like I said, the camera didn't have the presence of mind to let us know that there was a new goaltender in there. Not sure if Musatelli got hurt after the Gansky goal, but he was replaced by Paperny. And nothing against Musatelli, but with the way that Paperny's been this weekend, it would have been better off for the Grizzlies had Musatelli played the whole game. But he didn't. It must have been an injury that knocked him out. And Paperny ended up staving 25 of 26 the rest of the way. Let's go over the 3 stars of the game as announced by somebody in Tahoe. Luke Adam is the 3rd star. He had 1 goal and was a +1. 2nd star, Jordan Paperny, the goaltender. He saved 25 of 26. And the number 1 star is Samuel Mayer, who scored 2 goals and 1 assist. He had the game winner late in the third period, and Mayer was a +2 and had 3 shots. So that's the 3 stars of the game. If you're looking at Grizzlies versions of 3 stars, you got to think about Noah Gansky with 1 goal and 1 assist. Reed Lebster with 2 assists. Gansky played outstanding in each of the last 2 games of the series. And you talk about the heart and desire of Noah Gansky. We didn't want to make any sort of mention of it on Friday's game, but he was a -6 in the plus-minus category on Friday, and he responded with a +1 rating and had 1 assist last night. That was a +1 rating in a game Utah lost 6-2. And then tonight, Gansky ends up as a +1 and had 4 shots and had a multiple-point game. And so, Gansky was able to bounce back here over the last couple of games of this series after having a tough one on Friday night in the series opener. And you got to hand it to Dominic Bassey. He hung in there during the middle portion of the game and made some nice saves. He stopped 19 of 22 as his record falls to 0-1-1 on the season. Hanson Buchanan with 1 assist for Utah. He now leads the Grizzlies with 17 assists on the year as he broke a tie with Danny Genev as both skaters had 16 assists coming into play tonight. In terms of the shot count, Grizzlies had 37 shots to Tahoe's 22. Utah 15 shots in the first, 10 in the second, 12 in the third. And Tahoe had 4 shots in the first period, 12 in the second, and 6 in the third. The captain, Tyler Gratton, led Utah with 7 shots. Evan Friesen, Riley Connors, Noah Gansky, and Danny Genev each had 4 shots. For Tahoe, obviously Mayer was the star of stars. He had 3 shots, but the leader was Jordan Gustafson, who had 5 shots on goal. That was the 3rd of 9 regular season meetings between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. And unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, they're now 0-3 against Tahoe this year. Grizzlies are 13-6. Grizzlies' record falls to 13-17-3. They are now 10-10-2 on the road, as this was the last of 9 straight road games for the Grizzlies. When they hit the ice on Friday night against Kansas City, they will have gone 34 days between home games. And unfortunately for the Grizzlies, as the trip progressed, they started picking up more and more injuries. They had 17 skaters on Friday, and then Sage Weinstein before Saturday's game was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Stepan Timofeyev was unable to play in each of the last 2 games of the series, and today Neil Shea was unable to go. The Grizzlies were without Christian Felton in this series. Not sure how much longer he'll be out. Luke Manning's missed the last 6 or 7 games. Grizzlies have also been without Avery Winslow, Rylan Kovacevic, Christoph Filion didn't play in this series, and so injuries have piled up. I got to imagine the Grizzlies are going to pick up some players. They claimed a guy off waivers from Adirondack yesterday. Wasn't able to make it towards Tahoe in time, but maybe he'll play this weekend. So we'll just see if he's going to be out there for the Grizzlies. His name is Matthew Boislard, Boislard, his last name. He's got previous experience in this league with Trois-Rivières, and this year played in 15 games with the Adirondack Thunder. So hopefully Boislard will join the team and add a little bit of versatility. He had played a little bit of forward, but then this year with Adirondack had been playing as a defenseman. So they have another guy to go along with Luke Salem and maybe Colbians, who can go back and forth, play a little bit of forward or play a little bit of D, depending on what the Grizzlies need on that particular night. Just tough weekend for the Grizzlies, losing 3 straight to a pretty good Tahoe Night Monsters club. And with Allen winning again today, it just means the Grizzlies are now needing some victories over the next couple weeks to just try to stay within the playoff race. Allen's got 41 standings points on the year, and they are in 4th place in the Mountain Division. Allen has been outstanding lately. They've won 8 of their last 11 games. And with the Grizzlies, obviously, they've got 29 standings points. They've played 33 games, and they're 12 points behind Allen for that 4th and final playoff spot. So it's going to be a little bit of catch-up, and unfortunately, over the last couple of years, Grizzlies have had to play catch-up in the second half of the season to try to climb back into the playoff race. And so that's what makes this upcoming series at Maverik Center a 3-game set against the first place Kansas City Mavericks, who have a record of 24-7, 1-1. Makes it all the more important that the Grizzlies come away with a couple of victories, at least 2 out of 3 against Kansas City, to try to find a way to climb back into the playoff race. As unfortunately, 9 straight road games, and Grizzlies only getting 3 out of 6 points last week against Wichita, coming away empty-handed this weekend against Tahoe. Obviously, there's still a lot of season left to be played, but the Grizzlies are going to have to find a way to get some standings points to try to stay within striking range of that 4th and final playoff spot. Looks like just about everybody in attendance at Tahoe Blue Event Center is taking a picture at center ice. It was Jake Derflinger lookalike day over in Tahoe. We'll see what happens over at Maverik Center, though, this upcoming weekend, as the Grizzlies have the big 3-game series against the Kansas City Mavericks. Don't forget the next broadcast at Grizzlies Hockey will be on Friday night, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. We're certainly going to be thrilled to watch live hockey at Maverik Center for the first time in 34 days. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 44 minutes in front of a crowd of 3,978. Grizzlies got 1 goal and 1 assist from Noah Gansky. They got 2 assists from Reed Lebster. Evan Friesen found the back of the net in the 3rd period. But the Tahoe Night Monsters got a game winner from Samuel Mayer, who had 2 goals and 1 assist. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. Grizzlies fall 3-2 to the Tahoe Night Monsters. We'll talk on Friday night. And make sure to follow the Grizzlies for the latest news and information at UtahGrizzlies.com or by following the Grizzlies social media channels. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.